Hello, fellow followers, and welcome back to FanZcene. And this is the Physical Media Show. Glad to see all you guys out there in the chat and out there watching. Welcome, Runner. Welcome, Tom. How's it going, guys?
It's going all right.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Love the enthusiasm.
Doing okay. You got a member.
Oh yes, I do. Cosmic Squirrel. Thank you. Where you at? I saw him. Greetings, Cosmic Squirrel. 2 months he's been a member, and I'm thankful for that. We are small, but we are strong. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Hell,
just like
here.
Hobbits.
And yeah, just like Hobbits, and I clicked my stupid name. So what's up? And
idiot.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck your Best Buy. Random Brad.
You're salty as fuck.
Welcome, Random Brad. Glad to see you here, and Brian Barth. And glad that you're here as always. And Doug, 1985 VA, General Kenobi, welcome. Southern, well, it jumped on me. Southern Viking, welcome. Hell, and good evening to you. Stephen Luther, what's up? Joey, glad to see you here. Deleted Scenes, who's also been a member here for 2 months. Welcome. This thing is not clicking on the right. And Seika, welcome. Tyrell72, glad to see you here. Dan Blackroyd, hell, Showtime. And we already got a question right off the bat from Brian Barth. Watch Godfather 1 and 2, one of a few movies that I would watch, and then watch again immediately after. I don't blame you there. The classic films all around. But hail to everybody in the chat and everybody watching. What do you guys want to go over a little bit before we get into all of our picks? Runner?
Fuck Walmart.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And finally, they got their shit together over on
Best Buy.
Best Buy, so you can get that. And I just heard the news that Coolio died.
Coolio died?
Yeah,
for real?
59.
I heard about
Dang.
That.
I didn't even
I don't
see
know.
that.
I just heard it now. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Gangster's Paradise.
17 minutes ago, the news dropped.
Dang.
Wow. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
On that note,
wow.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I can't believe I didn't know that. But yes, Kevin Bacon has joined Beverly Hills Cop 4. So.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
Well, I think it's already got its title. It's Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley.
So Foley. Yeah. So
they're literally trying to copy like the title, like Top Gun Maverick. They're trying to do that.
We'll see how that turns out. I know Tom knows a little bit about it, so we'll see how it is.
I just know he's a deadbeat dad.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So
yeah, that doesn't that sucks.
And if his name is the movie, that's always a good chance you're gonna die. Except for that. I know there's another movie that's supposed to come after this, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, there's that. And as for anybody about the Walmart thing is, if you saw on Walmart and you ordered the Halloween 4K box set of part 6, 7, and 8, Walmart's not going to honor that price. They're canceling orders as we speak. So. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. Runner, what do you think? Do you think Walmart should honor that price and sell you that title, that box set for the $22.98 that people ordered it for?
Absolutely, that's Walmart's fuck up. They deserve it.
Exactly. That's what we said. I mean, it's this giant corporation.
Yeah, like didn't they do the same for that Ghostbusters box set or something?
Yeah, they did honor it.
Yeah, they paid the price for that. Why don't you do it for that?
Exactly. So they should, but I don't think they will. They're not. So that's the way the cookie crumbles there. But at least on the bright side, you can now pre-order Reservoir Dogs, the 4K Steelbook on Best Buy. So
that's true. I might wait on that for a bit.
I wouldn't wait too long.
Yeah.
You sure?
I was going to
Yeah.
order my Scream. I was going to cancel my Amazon Scream 2 4K Steelbook and go order it from Best Buy, and I can't even get it from Best Buy anymore. So,
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
yeah.
Because I had a buddy who has been waiting on a couple things, and I went and told him that they were up on um, Steelbooks were back up on Best Buy.
Yeah.
And between the time I sent him the link and he got to the link, they had already sold out of Lost Boys. He luckily got Poltergeist, but that was it. So really?
Yeah, because those have been going really, really fast, and
No, but
it's just
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go on.
No, I was gonna say, like, the reason why I say I'm gonna wait for the Reservoir Dogs Steelbook is usually like almost like every Lionsgate exclusive Steelbook.
Wait. Let me guess.
Usually,
you'll just run to your Best Buy and pick it up off the shelf.
Probably. Dude, I got American Psycho on Steelbook, the 4K. And that was a Lionsgate release, and I was lucky enough to get that. Reservoir Dogs will probably be the fucking same.
You know what we all say.
I can't guarantee that for Pulp Fiction, though. I'll tell you that.
I would say the Pulp Fiction Reservoir Dogs might go pretty quick. So
no, I think the Pulp Fiction one will.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction and the Reservoir Dogs ones.
Yeah, they're going to go pretty quick. I mean, I know you want to pick up Clerks 3, but yeah, that's all you, man.
Ew.
I'm gonna pick up Clerks 3.
Yeah, you just said you did. You said I'm going to pick up Clerks 3. Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
no,
you said you were.
You said you were.
I said I was gonna pick up Reservoir Dogs.
Clerks 3. I know.
No. God.
Brian Barth wants to know what is an LED camera.
What about an LED camera?
Brian Barth wants to know what an LED camera is.
No idea. That would be a better question for actually Valiant.
Yeah, Valiant Renegade.
Yeah, I don't know about it. I've never even heard of
it's
it.
Just I would say it's just the lights inside the camera that's used.
Okay.
So, maybe.
I mean, I'm taking a digital video class now, and I've never heard of it.
Well, let's get here. Day of the Dude says my local Best Buy has 2 Lost Boys Steelbooks left. So anybody wherever, I don't know where Day of the Dude is, but hey, 2 left.
Maybe it's my Best Buy. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, fuck your Best Buy.
I'm kidding. I mean, they had one more when I was there. And they had like one Poltergeist Steelbook too, but I didn't have the money to get it.
I wish I would have got those Steelbooks or the Zavvi ones because they look 100 times better than what I got.
Oh God, yeah.
But yeah, we got that, and there was something I talked about a little bit on 4K for you. If anybody's into Leanna Quigley stuff, I find this really interesting because a movie of hers from the 80s. It's a Satanic Panic movie. Hearts of what did I call it? What was it called? Hearts of Darkness, or no, not Hearts of Darkness. That's
Darkness in the Heartland.
Yeah, Darkness in the Heartland. It's a first time ever on any format. It's going to be on Blu-ray. It's a SD scan of the film because it was shot on video, so they can't like really get it to Blu-ray quality. But it's going to be on a Blu-ray disc. It's the first time it's ever been released in any format, in any way, shape, form. It's just been found. It looks to have a lot of special features on it. It's coming from Visual Vengeance. So if you're into Leanna Quigley and those like 80s shot on film cheesy horror movies like that, I would pick that up because I don't think that will last long. That seems to me like it'd be a really good collector items for people like that, like me and people in that type of horror stuff. So check that out. Visual Vengeance. I've never bought from them, so I may just have to now.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. And I think that's really about it. Other than Rocky 1 and 2 on 4K coming in February.
That's cool.
What do I want to say? Roadhouse. I almost said Roundhouse. Roadhouse on 4K. Invisible Maniac on 4K. Vinegar Syndrome. Arrow's releasing some their titles this Friday for what they're selling in December. I think that's about it.
We got Rocky and Rocky 2 and
Rocky 2 4K. Death Wish 4K.
Death Wish, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're looking to pick up any of that, check it out. And I guess we'll move on to the titles tonight that we all brought. Runner, you want to go first? What do you got for us?
All right. First pick I have is I finally watched this version of the movie. I only watched this and bringing it up on the show because we had a really cool announcement recently from Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, I think everyone knows what we're talking about. So I brought an X-Men movie. X-Men Days of Future Past: The Road Cut.
That's a good movie, but the road cut is pointless.
I yes, it is, but I do like the rogue stuff in it. It kind of made it a little better.
Yeah.
It's just better because it's like now you have like a little bit of more of that X-Men feel to it. Because I don't know, maybe that's just me.
It's definitely one of the better X-Men of the newer X-Men versions. You with the new class people.
It's probably my favorite, honestly.
It's really good because at least it combines enough of the what came before and what they were
Yeah.
doing then.
I think
So
I think X-Men First Class is a better movie, but this one's my favorite.
yeah, X-Men First Class is pretty good.
Yeah,
It's funny that you bring that
X-Men
up, and I
First
actually
Class is
brought a Ryan Reynolds movie not because of that. I didn't even honestly think about that. So now that's going to probably be talked about a little bit. So, but that was not my intent be bringing that up. But
No, but this is a cool movie, honestly.
the Bryan Singer, I don't know, but I mean, even then, he's not really sticking to the source material a whole lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bryan
Um,
Singer's.
I would
mean,
say it's just the caliber of director compared to the rest. More
Yeah,
so
it's
than
about
anything.
yeah. Who else was it? Matthew Vaughn
what
did.
Matthew Vaughn did First Class.
First
Yeah,
Class.
but then you got Brett
What's his name?
Ratner
Yeah, Brett
and
Ratner.
Simon Kinberg, basically. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bryan Singer also directed what was it, X-Men Apocalypse. That wasn't that great.
No,
That's
no,
one of
but
that's probably one of the
I
one of
heard
the
actually
weakest.
Kinberg directed that.
really,
You sure? Really?
Ghost directed, yeah.
I would. But yeah, that was about the time he was starting to get in trouble, wasn't
Trouble.
it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I will also I will
I don't know
will
how
give,
accurate that is, but yeah.
I will give X-Men Apocalypse credit for this. It's probably the best X-Men movie visually. Like, it looked really fucking good visually.
I think the most people remember from X-Men Apocalypse is this Quicksilver scene.
I agree. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
And X2 is really damn good, Dan Blackroyd.
Yeah, X2 is probably the best.
And I do really like the first one too. Mostly because of that intro that Wolverine had where he's like beating the shit out of that guy in the cage. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Dude,
It's been so long since I've seen them Fox X-Men movies.
yeah, I know, but
So
like
long.
but damn, like I remember no, because I rewatched it like a few years ago or whatever, the first one. I think I pretty much did like a marathon of the X-Men movies, but like that like intro that Wolverine had in that first movie was like, damn, it legit gives you chills.
Yeah.
Like, it's so damn good. It's like why can't like any of the comic book movies like right now do that?
Because they've reached a point in the society where they're trying. It's we could go over it all day. Why? But
I know, but I mean I mean I know I pretty much know the answer to that question. It's just like what it's just like seriously like it just makes a character like just as badass to me.
yeah. But Brian Borth, what went wrong was Bryan Singer was getting into a little trouble at that time. As Tom mentioned there,
I think
it was
as far as the quality, I put most of it on Simon Kinberg.
the Simon Kinberg.
Regardless, yeah.
Yeah, and probably some studio interference a little bit.
And Kinberg said they put effects over story and some other issues.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like it's it just kind of lost its way.
It did.
They
And
probably should have stuck with Matthew Vaughn, to be honest with
yeah,
you.
they probably should have.
I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, that's X-Men Origins Wolverine is not on Disney Plus. I did not know that.
I remember watching it once on cable. Yeah, like most people, I didn't like or care for it.
It's an acquired taste.
I mean,
but it is.
I don't hate it really till the end.
Yeah, it's really not that bad till when they
feel...
try to figure out how, like when they're getting to the point, like, oh, he gets shot in the head with his memories, and then you have this Deadpool and Wolverine back to and Sabretooth.
Yeah, that's the shit I hate.
Yeah, that's when it kind of goes off the rails.
Yeah, Baraka Pool is fucking stupid. But like, I'll be honest. If I watched X-Men Origins Wolverine now, I probably wouldn't think it's as bad as some of the shit we're getting.
Well,
now.
if you just stop watching it just before the end part, yeah, it's fine.
I mean, if you watch it to the part when him and Sabretooth throw down in that scene, that's all, you know. And then after that, you know.
Yeah, pretty much before Deadpool shows up, you're fine.
Yeah,
I think because I'd watch Liev Schreiber reading the goddamn Fode book. So yeah,
yeah, he's a great actor.
Yeah, dude, he was great as Sabretooth.
I just wish they would give him like the long flowing blonde hair.
It's Cotton fucking Weary, man.
Yeah, Cotton Weary.
Yeah.
Oh, what they did to him in 3.
You know what's funny? Like I remember watching, was it Scream 2 or whatever, which was like last year or whatever, and like was it Cotton Weary or whatever? I was like, is that the dude that played fucking Sabretooth? I said that for a second, and then I looked it up. I'm like, oh shit, it's him.
He actually has played somebody I'm going to talk about in just a minute too.
All right. We'll move on to you, Tom. What's your first pick of the night?
Yeah, if there's nothing else to say about X-Men, I guess.
Yeah, if you don't have anything else.
I watched a really decent documentary on the one, the only Orson Welles.
Orson Welles.
And of course, he played him once in an HBO film about the making of Citizen Kane. And yeah, this is a really decent documentary put together by the Cohen Film Collection for Kino Lorber. It's roughly about 90 minutes long, 94, I guess. But it kind of just covers his career. It's one of the better documentaries I've seen. There's interviews with a lot of people and archival interviews and stuff that knew him, like his daughter, I think, is on here and something like that, or
right,
one of his daughters anyway. And other people that knew him, and yeah, it's just a great just look into the life of Orson Welles and just how kind of he never really kind of got a fair shake in Hollywood as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, he never did. I mean, because he seemed to be making all these great films and like a little ahead of his time, and then it always seemed like he got screwed over at every turn in Hollywood. Yeah. It's crazy, and consider how he's regarded today by so many people.
Well, and that's just it. He is arguably one of the most influential directors ever, simply because of Citizen Kane alone. Not to mention, you know, some of the other stuff that he's had a few things to do with. But I mean, just recently, you know, of course, I got to see. Oh God. Just forgot the name now all of a sudden. The one
I hate
that
when
I
that
got in
happens.
4K.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh shit. Not the Third Man, but the other one that was unfinished and they just recut it.
Oh yeah, I remember you talked about it. You showed it on here. I can't remember the name of it either, because I was thinking about picking it up.
And not a Magnificent Ambersons either. It was
what was that?
Touch of Evil. Jesus Christ.
Touch of Evil. Yeah, there you go. Touch of Evil.
Amazing fucking movie. In fact, I would say that it almost rivals Citizen Kane in its technicality, right? Because it was one of the first movies with one of those huge fucking long ass opening shots, or just a one long shot to begin with, period. And it's done so well, and the way that the studio took it away from him and butchered it, compared to the theatrical cut, or you know, the version that they put together based on his notes, is just amazing, and it's a great transfer. And yeah, He's great in the Transformer movie too.
Yeah, Omnicron. I've been wanting to pick up Touch
Well, of course,
of
he
Evil.
just had one of those voices, right?
Yeah, and I actually heard Leonard Nimoy finished most of that at the end for him for Omnicron.
Really?
Yeah. I don't remember where I heard that from, and so that may not actually be
Surprised they
true.
didn't get what's his name LaMarche to do it like they do in everything else.
Yeah, but I did hear
this is Orson Welles.
It might have actually been on my Shout Blu-ray.
There's peas everywhere.
But yeah, he was great. He was great to director, and you know, it just I'm stuttering now. It just did seem like he was always something was always happening, and they was always trying to like take away his movies from him after he made them and everything. So
pretty much. Well, and that was because the studio system kind of shunned him, and he was constantly begging from Paul to pay Mary and stealing from Mary to pay Paul, and in the middle he was lucky to get a couple of minutes of a film shot. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff that's never been finished, I guess, just sitting in vaults and other places rotting away. But we've been lucky enough to get a few of his films finished up. I know there's at least a couple movies that he never got finished, but it's just too bad.
Which is sad.
But no, he was a legend, a living legend for so long, and then of course his size also kind of got to be a problem.
Yeah, he
later
did.
In life,
he kind of blew up.
A lot like Brando in that sense.
Yeah.
It's just too bad.
I mean, once they get to a point like that, it's kind of like, what do they do? So, yeah. Seika says, sounds interesting. I've been wanting to get the Touch of Evil on 4K, even more interested now. Yeah, I've had it wanting to get it from Kino for a long time. It's on my list there, and I've been really, really tempted to buy it here lately, but I've been trying to save a little bit for some other releases. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost unrecognizable in Touch of Evil. I mean, the makeup job he's got and everything. He plays the heavy in the movie. He's not the hero. Charlton Heston's the hero.
Yeah. That's cool. And so what was that documentary called again?
Oh, the documentary is called Magician. The Astonishing Life and Work of Orson Welles. And I got it pretty cheap on Kino, and I know they got a sale. They did. I think it's still going on.
That's what someone was asking.
See if it's still in there.
Kino sale. I can't remember.
Well, I got it the last time. But let me see here if it's in the latest sale.
I didn't.
A lot of times those sales are just like as long as supplies last, so they might be out of it. I don't know. Let me look.
Yeah, those Kino sales are dangerous, man. I went.
Right, tell me about. You don't want to know how much I just spent.
Man, I go on there. I've had to pull back. I go on there and I'm like, oh, I see this movie is only $7.99 and it's a Blu-ray and I gotta get this.
$7.99, $9.99, all adds up pretty goddamn quick.
Next thing you know, you got $65 worth and you can still go more.
And actually, yeah, it's no longer in print.
Oh, it's no longer in print. So
yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
you might be able to get it. You can get it on DVD still. Oh no, it is available. I'm sorry, it's $8.99. $8.99, 74% off right now.
There you go.
There you go.
I can't remember who asked that. I'm sorry, but there you go. You can go and get it.
Can I add it? Okay, I am a mod. Here's the link for anybody who's looking for it. That's actually the DVD, so you want to click on the Blu-ray because it's the same price for the Blu-ray, and of course, there you go.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah, you'll get that in the sale along with whatever else. They got $4 flat shipping, so. You can spend $50. You can spend $300 like I do, and not eat for a month. I don't know how I'm so fat.
I don't need to eat. I need to watch.
I wish I had that. I wish I had that much to spend on physical media, but I can't.
Well, what pisses me off too on this Kino sale is my next one I'm going to share is actually a movie I bought like 2-3 weeks ago or a week or two ago. Not even. And then this sale comes up and this fucker is in the sale.
I hate when that happens.
Just like, you remember the last time we did that? It was the Miracle Beach.
Yeah.
At least that one, I think we paid, what, $12.99 for it, I think it was. And I think
Amazon had it actually cheaper.
Oh, yeah, I think the sale price was like $9.99 or something like that, or maybe the same price or something like that. Yeah.
You want me to tell you what pissed me off? I bought Heat on 4K for the full price when it was released, and then like 2 to 3 weeks later, it's like it like the price goes down to like $17. I'm like, God fucking damn it.
Oh, anymore. The only time I really, 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 really worry about it is if it's something I know, like a Steelbook or a Shout Factory limited release, something like that I know may go out of print real quick.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be more difficult to get a hold of. Like Paramount lately, I don't fuck around.
Yeah.
I learned you gotta order first, and otherwise because they do evidently they do limited runs.
Yeah, Paramount is getting real bad with their stuff.
And
lately.
Warner has been too lately, so I've been jumping on those as soon as I can. I mean, and Warner, I don't give a shit about this, and I'm not so much a person who gives a shit about a Steelbook so much, because let me tell you the truth. If you give me the original poster art on the Blu-ray, I'm more apt to go with that than I will a Steelbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
See, and the only reason I've been going with some of these Steelbooks lately is in some cases it's the only way they're coming out, but other times they've been kind of cool with the Lionsgate ones. I will admit that.
Mm-hmm.
Like them actually having the whole slipcase thing, and that reminds me, I forgot to show Valiant earlier the slipcase for the I wish they would do that. Did you see what Disc Father made for Pulp Fiction?
I did not.
Oh, he said if Lionsgate was releasing Pulp Fiction, let me bring this up.
I saw that.
I'm like, they so need to do this for like a Tarantino set. That would be fucking like, I'm not one for this minimalist arts type shit usually. I'm not a big fan of it.
Right.
Reservoir Dogs, that just kind of rocked. I don't know why, it just kind of rocked.
I did think that was kind of clever.
Yeah, with
was
the
it Disc
ear
Father
coming
who
off
posted
on
that?
Yeah, it was the Disc Father.
I'm not finding it on his Instagram. Did he do it on Twitter instead?
He did it on Twitter. Let me look at Twitter.
Yeah, go ahead and see if you can find it, because I'm not finding it here.
Yeah,
but
I didn't
it's fucking
see it.
awesome. Because the ear thing for Reservoir Dogs.
It does look neat.
They did William Wallace for the Pulp Fiction one. Let me show you.
That's crazy. Yeah, go ahead, smash that like and share it out while we're at it, but go on.
I got it.
Okay, good, because I can't find it.
Yeah, share my screen.
I'm going to share it right now.
I want that. That would be kick-ass.
Yeah,
and it would go so well with the ear one.
It
would.
Know what
I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think of what you could do for Jackie Brown if this was the case. But unfortunately, these are all being released by Paramount. So the only one that's going to get this treatment is going to be the Reservoir Dogs.
Which is pretty neat. I do like that.
Because we've already seen the Pulp Fiction I'm not a big fan of the Steelbook. See...
Yeah, with the red and them just dancing on the cover like that.
Yeah, I'm not even 100% sure I'm going to get the Steelbook on this one.
I agree. Yeah. Like, I would love... Like, yeah, that's the thing. I want to see what the slip cover art is or whatever.
Yeah, if it's the standard poster art, I might just get that. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I hope it's the original poster. That'd be kick-ass.
I mean, I don't hate this, but
I don't know, the red and it don't.
They
could have done something so much better, in my opinion.
That William Wallace, the Wallace one, man, like that is or Marcellus Wallace. Did I say William Wallace? Jesus Christ!
William Wallace would be cool too.
Because we were talking about Braveheart earlier this late last week and earlier this week for Woman King shit. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, the Marcellus Wallace one would be fucking sweet.
Yeah, that would be cool. It's just like some of these this newest cover art stuff is just not very good at all lately, and some of it's really good, some of it's just really bad, so it's hit and miss lately.
I'm trying to think of what cool thing you could do with Jackie Brown in an alternate universe. That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm. I could think of a couple things to do with Jackie Brown. But is it me? You want me to go?
Kill Bill would be cool because you could do like almost like splash scenes.
Yeah,
like you could have like one of her with the like jumping up on one of the Crazy Eight, like you just see her with her sword back, and then when you pull up the thing, it's the next frame basically of her slashing, and then blood's gushing everywhere. That would be sweet, something like that. And then for like Kill Bill 2, it's like her like with her fingers up in the plucking motion, and then the next one is of what's her face with her other eyeball out or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Or you have her on her side, like the disc is her sitting, it's looking like it's upright, and it's like the coffin thing on the outside of it. You know, when she's laying in the coffin, maybe you could do something like that for part 2. I don't know. You could come up with some cool shit, I think. Those are kind of cool. Those are actually kind of getting me interested in Steelbook. I'll be 100% honest with you.
Yeah, because Lionsgate has made some really good ones, and I really regret missing out on the American Psycho one because I thought that was probably one of their best ones.
Yeah, that's a kick-ass Steelbook.
Well, that's kind of the one that started it, right? Like we're all like, no, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it was like that's clever. And then some of them they've rolled out have been really good, and some of them. Specifically, I would say the one I didn't like the least was the one Runner got there, Universal Soldier. Didn't care for the art on that.
I don't hate it as much as you do.
It was one of the more poorly thought out ones, if you ask me, though.
Yeah. Art wise, like I'd say, Dolph Lundgren looked fine on that. Van Damme.
I mean, it looked like Siegfried and Roy. Come on.
That's what I mean. I like the idea because isn't it like the slipcover puts on like their eyeball thingy and the other thing, right?
Yeah. That's what I.
Yeah, I like that idea, but you're right.
What I like
the drawing part of it looks like shit.
Yeah,
well, yeah. I mean, I bought it just for the slipcover thing because it's like they look like the cyborg things or whatever they are, and then you'd see like what they look like all human. It's like I like that. That's why I bought it. Plus, it wasn't that expensive when I bought it.
I regret getting the Terminator one though.
I
was so pissed on that one.
I know, man.
Dude, they stocked some of the Terminator 2 Steelbooks back at my Best Buy. I debated on getting it, but I don't know.
I wouldn't.
Lionsgate can suck a dick on that one.
Yeah, that was bad all around. And James Cameron is never going to fix that transfer, so.
Yeah.
Not that I can think of. He probably won't anytime soon.
Yeah, not anytime soon. But I guess we'll go on to me.
Yeah, check out that documentary if you get a chance. I
will.
Especially for that price. That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's a good price.
And I think somebody told me it was $6.90, I think, on Amazon, so it might even be cheaper there.
Oh, interesting. That's cool. That's good to know. But keeping like with sort of the theme of Lionsgate, I have a Lionsgate movie and a Ryan Reynolds movie, and I did not intentionally bring this because of he's in the news. I just brought it because I have Waiting with Ryan Reynolds. And
what are you waiting for?
My food to be served.
That is one of the oldest and shittiest looking Blu-rays, though.
It is. I've had it for.
It is barely above DVD quality. It is.
It's not the best.
I think they gave that DVD away with a cereal box at one point. Like, I mean, that was like one of the first Blu-rays ever. I have had that forever too.
Me too. I've had it forever, and
I think it was one of the ones I got my first 5 free because I found a deal that was like a flash sale that nobody knew about at Walmart. Yeah. That if you bought a PS3, you got 5 free Blu-rays. I think that was one of the ones I got.
There you go.
It was like Halloween, that Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I want to say Species. No, that was one of the ones I got in the mail. Species, Superman, and something else I got in the mail. So I got that free too. So like all together, like I got like enough Blu-rays with my purchase that it almost damn near paid for the PS3.
No, there you go.
Yeah, like because I got 5 free in the store. I'm trying to think of what the other 2 were. Was one of them Ghostbusters? Maybe, might have been, because it always seems like Ghostbusters is one of the first things that always get released on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
or on a disc, whatever, or on a format. Maybe not. I'm trying to remember. I can't even remember now what the first. Because I can't remember what the other one was that came with the 3 I got in the mail. Because the 3 I got in the mail were Superman, Species, and blah. I can't remember what now.
You can't remember.
Maybe it was the first Terminator or something like. No, I got the first Terminator though. I think with the 5 free.
Oh, there you go.
And then Waiting, I think. So that would be 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That's them. And then the one free. I can't remember what the other one free was. I don't either. For some reason, I want to say it was like a Disney title, but it wasn't a Disney movie. I think it was Pirates of the Caribbean. Now
Well,
that I
you got
think of
nice
it,
little pickups there for that.
that was way back
Way
when.
back- yeah, this was how long ago?
And that was the
This
thing is they weren't going to let
2005.
me at first. They weren't going to let me because there was a limit. You were only allowed the only single disc releases because I had like the for some reason Halloween was outrageously priced, and they were supposedly we're only supposed to have a limit, but the line was so long that the manager goes, "Just give them to him. We got too many people to fucking deal with." That's literally what she fucking said. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna fucking argue because Close Encounters alone was like 40 something bucks. Because that was a
Wow.
3-disc set or whatever. And
Yeah.
because it had the director's cut, the unrated
The-
cut, plus special features, the director's cut, the theatrical cut, and the special director's edition. There's 3 different versions of the movie. And then it had all the disc of special features. So like that was 3 discs alone. And Halloween was like $40 for some reason by itself. And yeah, so they weren't going to let me have those 2 for some reason at first. And then the lady's like, just send it through. Because it wasn't going through on their deal.
That's crazy.
You got to remember, this is right when Blu-ray was fresh. This is
Yeah,
right
this
when the
was-
PS3 came out. And then the PS3 came with Spider-Man 3, if I remember right, too. So plus I got Spider-Man 3 on top of it.
Look at that, just making out like a bandit with all
I
these
did
titles.
make out like a bandit on that one.
But yeah,
And it came with a game on top of it all. It came with Spider-Man 3 and the game, what was that, 4-wheeling game? Like, it's an ATV game.
Oh,
God damn
it's
it.
it's like I think I know a game you're talking about, but I can't remember it
ATVX
either.
Cross or something like that. I
Yeah.
can't remember what the hell it was, but it was a decent fucking game, too. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, the PS3 blew my fucking mind. Like nothing since has been able to blow my mind like the PS3 did.
Yeah. I have not played like a system in forever.
They didn't have a GTA yet, Joey. When GTA 4 came out, though, you best believe I was there the midnight when it came out.
Yeah.
Anyhow, moving on. I'm so sorry that I went
That's
on that
fine. No,
tangent.
that's cool. Yes, this Blu-ray is very old. I've had it for a very long time. I've always really enjoyed
Batwing.
it. Batwing. Oh my god! And I bet you Runner's never seen this, so he doesn't know what that is. You've never seen this, have you, Runner?
Seen what?
The movie I have in my hand that I showed.
Oh, you're still
Waiting?
talking about that movie.
Waiting. I'm waiting.
No, I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah,
We're
this
talking-
You
is
need to see Waiting. The
Yes,
first
this
one, at least.
movie
Yeah,
is hilarious with Ryan
Tom-
Reynolds, Justin Long.
Oh my god, it's so angry.
Tom was talking about a bunch of other shit. So
I am so
wouldn't-
sorry, Runner. Yes, Waiting is hilarious. If you've ever worked in a restaurant
Mhm.
or a fast food place, you know these people. I hate to tell you this. The movie is not full of shit.
No.
I now I need to watch this because I worked at a McDonald's and
You will
bet-
see that
yeah.
these people are real. I know these guys. I worked with all these guys. Yeah, these are the guys you have to tell, no, you can't do that to people's food.
My brother knows. My brother
Depending on the situation, I'm either Justin Long or I'm Ryan Reynolds. Okay. But I know the guy that Dane Cook plays. Like, there's a friend of mine who's still one of my good friends to this day that was just like him back in the day.
Oh man,
It was fucking crazy. Luis Guzman, same goddamn thing. There's always that perverted
Shy
motherfucker. Shy McBride, same thing.
Yeah,
There's
Shy
always that
McBride.
one older guy. It doesn't have to necessarily be black, but that one older guy who's been there way too damn long and knows way more than everybody else does, and the one that everybody goes to for advice, and you're still wondering, why is this guy working here?
Luis, that just made me think about Luis Guzman, which he's like, you tried to get me to give you a hand job at your uncle's funeral or what? I can't remember, but that was funny.
Luis
Oh,
Guzman's too much like Mikey in some cases. That's another thing. Mexican
Yeah.
Iron Man.
yeah.
Him and the ladies, I tell you.
It
That boy.
is a great movie. It is really funny. It has some of the best bits, and Ryan Reynolds is he plays a great job, and him and Justin Long play well. The sequel's not very good. I wouldn't recommend the
No.
sequel. No, but this one is really good. If you guys would, I would check it out, Runner. This would be up your alley.
Which is sad because they get almost most of the original cast back for the sequel. It's just missing Ryan Reynolds for the most part. And what's
Yeah,
her
for
face?
the most
Anna
part, yeah.
Faris or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's my brother. He would know. Trust me. He's right there with you, Tom. He knows all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say Ryan Reynolds is a star. I think his
I don't
star
know. He's
faded for a bit, but then it came back.
yeah.
Yeah, I think he is.
In the right projects, he does well.
Yeah, if he's
Yeah.
got the right stuff to him.
That's a good way to describe it. Because there really aren't
Yeah.
we don't have that many stars.
It's funny you bring up Ryan Reynolds projects because we'll get into something here again later. It's funny because I even had a point to bring up one of his.
All right. Honestly, I know he's been in the news with the Hugh Jackman and Deadpool 3 and all that, but I did not purposely pick that because of that. It's just I
Same
hadn't
here with
seen
mine.
that movie in a
It just so
while.
happened to be that this is it just you'll understand when I get to it.
Yeah, it just I have not seen that movie in such a long time, and it's so funny, and it definitely could use a new Blu-ray. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, Runner, check it out. You'll love it. I'm serious. You'll love it.
No, I'll look into it because I did. My first job was at a fast food restaurant and I hated it. So I might like this.
They work at a like a steak like stuff, but you'll recognize
it's like
even working at
Fuddruckers or whatever the fuck the name of that place is.
It's like a what was
or
the name
Checkers or whatever the hell it was.
I can't remember what it was.
They say in the making of it, I think, or one of the guys
like a TGIF Fridays or something
like that. Yeah, he says what it's based on. It's when he worked at.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah,
it still applies. And Clerks are this better? Clerks is technically probably better, but fuck Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
I was gonna say fuck Kevin Smith, but
you could literally watch Clerks, Office Space, and Waiting in one night because those three movies
are like film. That's a good trilogy. Yeah,
that's a good little trilogy to watch.
Office Space is good.
Which is kind of the point, which is funny because Waiting got kind of accused of ripping off Clerks.
A little bit,
and then when Clerks 2 came out, everybody pointed out how it was funny how there was so many similarities between that and Waiting.
Well, that's because they're actually working at a fast food restaurant.
Exactly, part of it. And then just the fact that everybody's like crazy fucking, It has a lot of similar-ish kind of things to it.
I was gonna say, speaking of like Clerks, I don't want to get to it for too long because, like Tom said, fuck Kevin Smith. But like, maybe it's one of the reasons. Maybe one of the reasons why I like Clerks 2 more than the first one is one of them is because it takes place in a fast food restaurant. Maybe that's why, because that was one of my jobs back in the day.
Yeah. It's weird though, but yeah, definitely check out Waiting. It's good, and you really could watch Clerks, Waiting, and Office Space all in one night as like a trilogy of movies because I think everybody's had those experiences in their jobs at some point in time.
Yeah, but Office Space is better than both of them. So
yes,
you think Office Space is getting like a Blu-ray release at some point?
It's got a Blu-ray.
It's been on Blu-ray.
Oh, it does. I thought it was only
got a couple.
Idiocracy might be the one you're thinking of that doesn't have a Blu-ray.
That's right. Idiocracy. That needs a fucking Blu-ray.
And I don't think Disney will do it anytime soon.
No, I know that sucks because I like Idiocracy more than Office Space.
I don't know if I like it more, but it's just because they're so different.
Yeah,
but they're both Mike Judge films.
I know they're both Mike Judge films.
No, I mean they both feel like it, even though they're so different. Is my point. But yeah,
maybe you might disagree with me on this, but like I feel like Idiocracy is more Mike Judge than Office Space to me. Like Office
depends.
Office Space is good. It's just not my favorite Mike Judge.
See, the weird thing is Office Space is basically his Milton shorts put into a movie.
Yeah.
And if you've ever worked in an office setting, it's totally like Clerks or Waiting in that sense that you get all the jokes.
Well, that's what my mom told me, like, because she really likes Office Space, and she's like, if you worked in an office, you'll find it really, you'd get it. And maybe it's because I never worked at an office, I don't get it.
And I worked at a phone center once, and don't
get me wrong, I did laugh at times. It was good.
Especially at the bitch who's like, just a moment, like, oh god.
Looks like somebody's got the case of the Mondays.
Does anybody say that to you at work? Oh, hell no, man. Hell no. I think you get the shit kicked out if you say something like that.
I'm with that guy. I do 2 chicks at the same time. I mean,
if you had $1 million, what would you do? 2 chicks at the same time, man.
I figured I'd have enough to work it out.
I kind of like the jokes more in Idiocracy, but that's just me. That's the humor I get.
They're two different. That's the thing, is they're two. And then, like I was going to say, Idiocracy, on the other hand, is basically like if Beavis and Butthead were the only ones left to procreate on Earth.
Yeah, I was going to say,
this is what would happen.
I mean,
right?
What's his name? Jack Shepard's character is literally a Beavis and Butthead type character.
Pretty much Beavis or a Butthead, yeah. So
yeah. That's not what the judge said.
I object. You can't object. You're my lawyer. I just watched that not too long ago, actually.
I need
man, it's been a while since I've seen it.
I need to rewatch it. It's been a while.
President, not sure.
That's good. But anyways, what do you got for us, Runner? What's for your next pick here?
I'm curious to see if Tom might know this cover. You know what movie this is?
Yeah, it's the Social Network one that's coming out on 4K soon.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Look at his eyes lit up.
It's only in the Columbia box set for now, but I'm sure it'll get its own release eventually.
I hope it does. I'm debating on getting that Columbia box set only because it's got that movie and Taxi Driver.
I think it's in the next one, right? Or was that in the last? No, maybe it was in the one before this.
No, it was in 2.
Was it in 2?
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember now.
The first box set had Lawrence of
Arabia.
Yeah,
because I already have it. Yeah.
Yeah, Lawrence of Arabia and Jerry Maguire. I know those two were on that.
I just haven't watched it yet.
But yeah, no, I bought this for like $2.
Oh, good. That's still a decent buy.
Yeah.
Especially if you got that cover, because I have it, but I don't think it has the slip part. I think it just has the inside part.
So yeah, there's that.
Because I bought mine used too.
There's images from the movie. It's pretty cool. I think it's definitely worth the price. It was the only one there, and it was a Blu-ray. I thought it was a DVD at first, so I didn't think about getting it. But then I realized, like, oh, it's Blu-ray. I'll get it.
Yeah, I haven't watched the 4K to see if it's that big of an upgrade or not. So yeah,
I've
$2.
actually never
That's
seen
a good
the movie
buy.
at all. So.
Really?
Yeah,
it's
I've
actually
never
better than you'd think.
Wait, what is it, Greg?
I've never seen it. I've never really been interested in the story of Facebook. So
it's actually really it's so much better than I thought it was.
I didn't think I was gonna like it either. Yeah.
This might be a really hot take. I like this more than Fight Club when it comes to David Fincher.
Oh, me too. Fuck yeah. I've never been a big fan of Fight Club. I've never been a huge fan of Fight Club, though.
I've been a big fan of Fight Club, so I don't know if I could.
I like Fight Club. No, I
hate the ending. That's just me.
I like this more than Fight, and I like this more than 7. 7's good, but like this is my favorite.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I was gonna say,
really?
I mean,
me 7 is his best, but that's just me.
Yeah, I wouldn't go say 7 was.
But that to me is probably his second best right there. I will go that far.
Well, the reason why I'm saying 7, the reason I'm saying this is better than 7 is because like 7, like when I watched it, like there were like a few times where I like kind of like fell asleep, but then like once you get to that third act, it's like okay, now it's actually getting kind of good.
That's got to be a generation thing, because 7 had me on my fucking seat the whole time in the theater.
Really?
Yeah, my 7 God. Was. It was.
We had not had anything like that before. The closest thing we had to like 7 would have been like The Silence of the Lambs.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I need to rewatch it.
Well, what's in the box?
See, yeah, that's the thing. Like Runner now, I can see 7 being quaint as fuck, but when 7 came out, like that was.
That I know people talk about it a lot, but that scene with legitimately the box scene, and when he opens it up and
that fucked up the audience.
I was like, holy shit!
No, nobody could believe they went there.
That messed me up, man.
that was a good scene. Like
I remember the audience was like nuts. You had like everybody going. And then all of a sudden, like, this one lady's like, fuck this movie! Or something like that. She was pissed, and I'm just like, they didn't. They did. Oh
Yeah.
my God, they did. I couldn't believe it. My jaw hit the ground. I'm like, man, this movie had the fucking balls to go there.
Yeah.
They fucking did it.
Yeah. And I do remember later on hearing that Brad Pitt said the only way he would continue with the movie is if they actually kept that ending. So
What's in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box? That I could totally see why people would get mad at it too, because that's like almost like a mist type ending. However, it's done in such a better way.
And
where
people loved Gwyneth Paltrow
off.
then.
Yeah.
Like, that was the other thing, too.
Yeah, that was when she was actually still popular.
Exactly. Well, that was one of the movies that helped make her popular. But yeah. Like, there was a lot of pissed off people at the end of that movie. They're just like, I can't believe they killed her. And it was worse because some people are like pissed because they killed the baby, too, at the same time. That's
because I don't think people actually think about that. Because they don't, I think they think, oh no, they killed Gwyneth Paltrow, but they forget that she was pregnant in that too. So
yeah, like there was that one lady. I'm pretty sure it was the fuck this movie lady. She was like hyperventilating, crying on the way out of the movie. Like, she was very upset, and there was a few other people that were obviously upset when they left the film. Then there was people like me that were just like, "Oh my God, that was fucking amazing!" And like, like me and my buddy who are horror fans, right? Like, it was like we were just like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, it was.
It was like Scream. Actually, if you ask me, it was better than Scream in a lot of ways.
No, of course. I mean, it's a different.
It's a much more mature story.
Yeah, it's much more mature story.
I honestly need to rewatch 7 because here's the thing about 7. Like, my mom made me watch it when it was like on TV one day, and I think I had like a really long day that one day, so I like kind of like fell asleep during like the first act. And then
it is a little slow moving in the first act. That I will say.
That's the problem. It moved really slow for me, and I'm just like, oh my God, like
how old were you?
I think it was like.
And was it the TV cut? Was it on cable or was it like a TV cut?
It was cable.
So it wasn't cut out.
I don't know if it was.
You didn't have commercials and shit, did you?
That's what I'm trying to remember. There were commercials.
Yeah, if there's then they.
Then you were probably no wonder you weren't into it.
Oh yeah, that movie was one of those movies that barely got like they had to. I'm sure they had to cut a bunch of shit to get an R rating.
Yeah,
I did buy 7 on Blu-ray from the place I work at. There was they
that
just
needs
had,
a 4K. So.
I was about to say, I'm surprised we do not have a 4K of 7 because that's like a seminal film.
Well, it's a New Line movie.
That's part of the problem.
That makes sense.
Because it's got because the Blu-ray I bought, like, it had the new Line Cinema logo on it. So
they did do supposedly a new scan. I don't know of what element, and they redid the color timing because they fucked up the color timing. I think on the DVD, if I remember right.
Oh man. Because
the original Laserdisc and video and stuff like that, if you watch it, I mean, it's a dark fucking movie, but like this is a case, if I remember right, because the Platinum Edition DVD they fucked up and it had like a very bad orange wash to it or golden wash to it, so it made the darker shit even darker, and it had like no cold tone to it at all. It was like very, very warm toned. And see, there was a lot of movies that I remember having that issue. I remember they did like a similar thing to Scream 2 for some reason on DVD when it first came out. They did. Really? It's not as bad on the Blu-ray. It's fine on the Blu-ray. Yeah, I remember it, but
that's why I'm more curious about the 4K. So I may have to cancel my Steelbook just to get the regular 4K.
Which is weird. I mean, I ordered mine through Best Buy. Let me check and see if it's what the situation is. But
I checked Best Buy a minute ago. It said I cannot pre-order it. But
no, I mean, let me see if mine's shipped.
Yeah, you might want to check that. The Social Network seems like a movie Stanley Kubrick could direct. What would you say? It does? Because I've not seen it. So,
and that's because Kubrick was good at finding a way to make anything interesting. Or Scorsese is another one I could say he could have done this. But no, I think you could give it a shot, Greg. I'm not necessarily sure if you're gonna like it or not.
See, that's the thing. I mean, I know Andrew Garfield's in it. And I know it's the guy from Zombieland, which that's how I know him from usually. Jesse Eisenberg. That's what I really know him from.
It's probably his best movie ever. To be honest with you.
I agree 100%. It is his best movie.
I've never been really interested in Mark Zuckerberg, so that's my thing.
No,
It doesn't matter. That's the whole
It
thing.
doesn't matter.
That's the thing. I don't give two shits about Mark Zuckerberg or Facebook. I don't even have a Facebook account.
Yeah, because I hate his ass too. And the movie doesn't make you like him for any way. Anyway,
Yeah.
No, I mean, you like his acting. That's it. And Jesse
no, because that's really
Eisenberg-
what the whole movie is about. Is how he pretty much fucks over everybody in his life, no matter what.
Okay, you know what's the creepiest shit ever in this movie? Seeing two Army Hammers. That was the weirdest fucking thing.
That was
ever.
a little weird.
No,
He said she tastes like chicken, so.
No. So and it had nothing to do about the.
I know. I was just making a bad joke.
I know. So hold on a second. So I'm watching the movie, right? I see two Army Hammers, and I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I'm so damn confused. So I look at IMDb and I'm looking at the images, and I go to like one picture. You know how like you can go to pictures and it'll tell you like which actors are which.
Yeah, the cast.
Yeah, the cast. Like I went to one picture of the two Army Hammers, and it's like, okay, so this other actor is playing him, and he doesn't even look like him. And then it's like, okay, they deep faked his face.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Army Hammer. I know, but I was like tripped up for a second. I was like, what the hell? Is he in two places at once?
You didn't realize they're twins? You're as bad as my mom. My mom sees two people that it's like there's somebody in a movie and there's twins. She gets confused immediately. It's like, Mom, they're twins, or they're a clone, or they're doppelgangers, or something. She's just like, she gets lost.
No, but I understood. I knew they were twins because they said that. It's just, I'm like, what? Like, why did they? Like, why are there two of them exact same? And it was just weird.
It's because they're twins.
No shit. But you've seen movies where like they'll have like normal actors play like twins, but they don't look like I don't know. No, but they look too much alike. That was the creepiest shit ever. I understand they're twins, but they look too damn close. Even the voice too, that was weird. Like they both sound the same too. Like they went that far with
That's because it's the same actor. It's just a body double for the other one.
No, one of them's a different fucking actor.
Yes, they hired another actor so he can act opposite to him, and then they just put his head over his.
Yeah, it was like.
So it's still Army Hammer's face. It's still Army Hammer's voice. So
it's weird though. That's my point. It's fucking weird. You haven't even seen this movie, Greg. So I don't know.
No, but I mean, I've seen clips of Army Hammer's twins, the twins that he plays.
No, it was just weird. But you should see this.
Damn Black right. They can't all be Arnold and DeVito running.
That's pretty fucking funny.
Tonight is your night, bro. Tonight is your night, bro. Bart, I did not see Mank, and I do. Alien 3 is not great, but I can watch it. So
I like the extended cut better of Alien 3.
Yeah.
The only 3 David Fincher films I've seen are Fight Club, 7, and this Social Network.
And Mank is okay. I'm not sure I agree with it.
I hear that's like one of his like weakest movies.
The problem isn't the movie itself. The problem is the take. If you know anything about Citizen Kane, this is a very bad take, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've heard of it, because everybody's just like, nah, I don't think this is quite how it went.
No, because the whole movie is basically Mankiewicz writing the whole script from his drunken stupor bed. And pretty much this movie is Mankiewicz was the real genius. Orson didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
That's kind of like how they do with Shakespeare nowadays. Shakespeare never wrote any of this.
Fucking sense, because there's a lot of shit that went down between there. There's a lot of shit this is overlooking, and it's
yeah.
I like it for the fact that it gives us a little bit more insight on, for anybody who knows the story of the real person that citizen, William Randolph Hearst's real wife. Mankiewicz knew her, and it shows their relationship a little bit better. I like that aspect of it, and I think what's his face who plays Mank is good in everything, but
Yeah, Gary Oldman.
But two things drove me nuts, and that was
everyone.
And that is just the story itself, and then B, it is annoying as piss because it is shot in black and white, and the sound has like an echo to it, like this, through the whole entire movie to give you that feeling like you're in a big old theater house.
Oh wow, really?
And it gets annoying after the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if I can handle that.
Oh, it is bad. Yeah, it's just. Because it's like, I don't like that effect. If I want that effect, I'll turn that effect on.
Yeah, I want the option to turn that effect off.
Yeah, I wish I could.
But I'll check out Social Network eventually. It's just never been something I've been too interested in seeing.
It's a lot
maybe
better
when
than
the 4K comes out, maybe
it's
I'll
more
check it
about
out then.
the back and forth with the actors kind of thing.
That's what I said. I know
it keeps proving that Justin Timberlake is a much better actor than a singer, believe it or not.
I was gonna say, I was gonna bring that up. Like, he's surprisingly a really good fucking actor.
I can't remember what movie it's called, but he plays this asshole boyfriend in it who's like he's in the military, and he comes back from Afghanistan or something like that in the movie, and I can't remember the name of the fucking movie. But it was literally like halfway through the movie before I realized that's fucking Justin Timberlake. He was that good, that convincing, that I was just like, I finally dawned on me that it was Justin Timberlake. If somebody remembers the movie itself must not have been that memorable, because I can't even remember the fucking name of it now.
I don't think.
But I think he ends up like beating his wife, or he's really just an asshole to her or whatever. That's all I remember from the movie, and I just remember like, oh my god, that's Justin Timberlake. And I can't remember the name of the fucking movie now.
Huh. I don't know. I haven't seen very many of his movies, so.
Is it Black Snake Moan? Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. That's why. Because I haven't seen that in a long time. I like that movie, but it's like... that movie has some issues. It's a fun movie to watch, just to see Christina Ricci in it half naked. Movie.
Christina Ricci, I mean...
Yes,
I pay to see that woman.
The only reason I probably own it.
Yes,
it is. Is it good? I can't remember. All I remember is Christina Ricci and
Justin
Timberlake.
All I remember is Samuel L. Jackson dragging her with a chain in her underwear and her wife beater shirt.
Yeah.
I don't give no shit about these black snake moans on this black snake moan plane. That was a bad joke, but
I'm so motherfucking sick of all these motherfucking black snake moans on this motherfucking black snake moan plane.
But I'll give that a shot. Maybe once the 4K comes out or something. But yeah, I gotta agree. I like Seven and Fight Club. That's my favorite ones of his.
Oh Lord,
Fight Club's
I gotta
good.
follow that up.
What do you got, Tom? What's your next second pick of the night?
Oh, Greg, you know how sometimes we get those movies where you and I will talk about them and we'll get like, oh yeah, I remember that movie was great.
Yeah.
And then you get it, and you're kind of like, oh, this fucker didn't hold up.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
But the weird thing is, and I remember why this movie stuck with me so much over time, because we've had about 50 movies that are basically the same fucking plot as it. In fact, speaking of Ryan Reynolds, he made this movie a few years back.
I like this movie.
Which is almost a direct ripoff of the movie I'm about to show you.
Oh, I like that movie.
The one I'm about to show you predates Just Friends, Shallow Hal, a lot of these kind of movies that are very similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a very similar project. She's all that, even the same kind of thing. I don't know if you remember this one or not, Greg.
I probably did because I was a pretty big Ryan Reynolds fan back in the day.
Well, this isn't Ryan Reynolds in this one. That just reminded me of that movie. Because every time I see a movie like Just Friends, it reminds me of this movie. And it did not hold up as well as I remember. But it's all right. But it also has a connection to a movie that we talked about last week, and we'll probably talk about again later here tonight. This movie, I wish I could give it I wish I could recommend it.
Get my anticipation going.
I wish it was held up because the idea is there, but unfortunately, watching it now, it feels like 2 or 3 scripts mixed together, and I'll explain a little bit why. The movie itself stars Shelley Long, Kyle MacLachlan, Jamie Gertz, and Steve Guttenberg.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
It's called Don't Tell Her It's Me. Now, you may not remember it by that title. Why?
I know.
Because when it was released on video, it was called
The
Boyfriend School, which is actually the name of the book it's based on. But Don't Tell Her It's Me is a much better title, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember it as Don't Tell Her It's Me because that's what it was released as in theaters and on cable. But on video, for some reason, they called it this. And this is the reason I could never find this movie.
Same here.
Years.
Same here. Because I remember seeing that. I was like, you remember that movie with Steve Guttenberg where he had cancer and then all of a sudden he becomes this biker guy? It's like, what the hell was the name of that movie? And I could not remember for years until recently.
And it has its moments still. It's okay. But as I said, it feels like two scripts mashed together. Because you have... The problem is, the plot is just like Just Friends and all these other She's All That kind of movies. Like Greg just kind of said, Steve Guttenberg plays an artist who does comics, and he gets cancer. And he gets over it, but he gained a bunch of weight from, everything, and he doesn't have his hair anymore, so he's got to grow his hair back and all that kind of stuff. And his sister gets this idea that if he can just... And his sister, who actually writes, like, Harlequin novels and shit.
Yeah.
Like the type of stuff that Fabio would be on the cover of. And she's like, if I can just turn you into one of my novel men, you could get any woman in the world you want. Because he ends up meeting this girl that he really likes, being played by Jamie Gertz. Mm-hmm. And, of course, his whole thing is he goes along with it, right? Well, here's where I'm saying it feels like 2 scripts mushed together. When you get to a scene later on in the movie, and there's a few scenes that feel this way, and a few scenes that feel fine. And when the ones that feel off are when you have, like, Shelley Long, who this is her fucking idea from the start.
Yeah.
When they come together in a scene, all 3 of them, and he's in his regalia and everything, pretending to be this Australian guy. Mm-hmm. She is fucking with him so badly and acting like she's trying to blow his cover when it's like, bitch, it was your fucking idea.
Man.
Why are you doing this to him? And then not even 2 minutes later, her husband walks in. He figures it out right away, goes right along with it. I'm like, there's the problem. It should have been reversed because her husband is set up like a fucking moron through most of the movie. This is the scene where he comes in and fucks everything up because he's a goddamn moron. How is that not the joke?
Exactly.
That's why I said it feels like 2 different movies where one version he came up with the idea and the other version she did. See, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And they didn't and that's the sad part because it could be a cute, sweet movie and it just falls apart. And now looking at it, I'm like, now I know why the critics utterly trashed this movie when it came out.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you because I remember liking this movie a lot as a kid. And I remember watching it and renting it on VHS, and I could never, like I said, I never could remember the name of it. I found it on Amazon not too long before Kino announced they were releasing it, and I made it about halfway through the movie before I turned it off, and it didn't hold up. It doesn't.
And Shelley Long's character and Jamie Gertz are part of the problem, because then you have the other side of it where Shelley Long is like at some point you're like, why isn't Jamie Gertz just going, leave me the fuck alone?
Yeah. Well, do people just leave me alone?
Like, my God, this woman is a saint of sorts because she's putting up with this shit so bad, and everything that happens to her is their fault, and everything goes so wrong for her, but yet at the end she's just supposed to up and forgive him. It is a very hard ask. Mm-hmm. Which sucks because it is a very decent idea, and as we said, it's been ripped off time and time again. Like every time I see Just Friends, I'm like, I've seen this movie before. It was called Don't Tell Her It's Me.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You know, so again, we have this situation where sadly the movie didn't live up to the memory.
Yeah,
I wish it had. It does finally have a Blu-ray release.
Honestly, I still may buy that Blu-ray just to have it for
nostalgic reasons.
Yeah, for nostalgia, sentimental type reasons. Because, like you said, it really, truly was super hard to find for years. Because I remember seeing this movie as a kid, and the name change always threw me up because I could never find it after like so much amount of time. I could never find it again. So it took for till I was in my 30s before I refound it and tried to watch it again.
Well, that was because of the confusion of the title.
Yeah.
It was released. We just didn't know it was called The Boyfriend School
we just didn't know it was called The Boyfriend School. So I'm sitting here
because every time it was on cable or television, which it did show up quite often, and that's how I discovered it, was called Don't Tell Her It's Me. And they have both versions of the opening on here as well. So they're exactly the same. The only difference is the title.
The title, yeah. It just depends on which title you want to see at the beginning.
I mean, even the song is the same. The song is Don't Tell Her It's Me.
It is.
I mean, you kind of get why it's called The Boyfriend School. Like, that's in the movie. That makes sense. But Don't Tell Her It's Me, just it rolls off the tongue better. Obviously, because it works so well in the song, which is actually not that horrible song. It's a catchy enough song to kick off them. The movie kicks off really well. It's when it gets about 2/3 of the way into it is when it starts going off the rails. And a lot of it is Shelley Long's character and Jamie Gertz's character because they're two unbelievable characters. Mm-hmm. And then they go too far with making Steve Guttenberg overly sweet, too, on top of it.
Yeah, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, like it's just too much of it. And then by the time he gets to be normal Steve Guttenberg, it's like he's already getting noticed by the ladies. Like, that's enough. He doesn't need to go to this extreme now, right? Like, because he's fucking Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah, I mean, once he loses weight and his hair comes back, it's like, yeah.
It's just Steve Guttenberg. At that point, you're like, motherfucker, we've seen him in movies. Get Sharon Stone.
Yeah, how about I believe that now that he's got this fake weight off of him and his hair's back, that he can't pick up a chick and get laid.
They do a pretty good convincing job, though, of making him flubby. I will give him that.
They do.
Like, that was a pretty, like, the makeup for the time specifically as well, because this is like 89, 90, whatever it was. But guys, you got to also remember, this is when Steve Guttenberg's star was fading, and this is actually one of the movies that probably put
him under
kibosh on that, because this is failed horribly at the box office. So
poor Guttenberg, he needs a comeback. We need a Guttenberg comeback. That's what we need.
And I think that's why they changed the title on video, was because they're like, this movie had no success. Yeah. Let's change the title back to the book's title. Maybe we can get some people who are familiar with the book.
Yeah.
To watch it.
Make a little extra dough on the side, from the physical release.
So there you go. That's my. I cannot recommend, sadly, this week.
Yeah. See, because like I said, I did find it on Amazon Prime. Not long before, I think, it was like a month or two before, and I tried to watch and I couldn't finish it.
You know what? Let's do this like this. Let's get this one out of the way now. Since Jamie Gertz is in that, and we talked about this last week, and she's in this.
And she's hot.
Because I'm watching Lost Boys last night, and I'm like, how do I know her? Like, of course I know her, but I'm like, I just watched something with her in it. Yeah. And it took me about a whole of 2 minutes to dawn on me, like, oh shit, that's right. She's in Don't Tell Her It's Me. It's like, this is where I recognized her from in that. See, yeah. When I was watching that, I'm like, the whole time going, what do I know her from besides this? Bingo.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? She's one of the richest women in the world.
Why is that?
I think it's her husband.
I was
No,
gonna say,
yeah,
who's she
I
married
think it's
to?
her husband. She's like one of the third richest women in the world, for real. I was super surprised when I found that out. I was like, Jamie Gertz, you mean the hot chick from Lost Boys? I was like, oh, so
Who's
yeah.
she married to? I don't know.
I don't know. I think he's just some billionaire guy.
Okay, well, it comes with the same Steelbook that I think you had,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Runner has that one.
Runner.
I have the Steelbook. Yeah.
The discs are pretty much the same too. I think the only difference is it has the stupid mark on them or whatever for the UK.
Yeah, from the
I was
Ford.
But they're
gonna say you
region
got.
free.
I was gonna say yeah, you got the import.
Yeah, it's the same disc, though, same shit on them. The
Mhm.
cool part, though, besides the lobby cards and posters, it comes with this like comic
I
book
do
cover.
love that. I do love that.
And it's like, I mean, it's real pictures on the inside, but like just the way it's laid out is like a comic book and stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, like here's the one that's like, be one of us. You know, like,
That would even be better than the cover they used on my 4K.
I know, right? I would have loved this cover on the movie itself.
Yeah. But The Lost Boys is a great movie, and it's a really great transfer, isn't it?
Tom.
Yeah, I thought the transfer was pretty decent considering there's no Dolby Vision, but
Yeah, the HDR looks good. The sound is decent. It could have used a Dolby Atmos, but I mean, there were some scenes, like especially the whole vamping scene when they kill all them people at the campfire. Just really, I thought that just really popped. I thought that was beautiful transfer, part of the transfer. So, yeah.
Well, and I thought also it'd be nice, like especially in the opening scene where the one dude gets killed, where he's like keeps looking back, like they could really use the Atmos sound with the coming in.
With the flying. Shane Clay says she owns the Atlanta Hawks baseball team.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah. That's why it surprised me. It's like, because I remember Jamie Gertz from the 80s. I remember from Lost Boys. She's hot. And I was like, I looked her up, and she's like one of the richest women in the world. I was like, how the hell did that happen? So, yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that Lost Boys is...
Yeah, she was super hot.
She is.
She's
and Joey...
She's quite a star.
It is like the story of Don't Tell Her It's Me is a little bit like Cyrano, but it's not quite. It's similar-ish, yeah.
Yeah, similar. Now you've seen Sadie, so everybody's happy to see Sadie.
So yeah, I thought I'd just show that off quick since we talked about Lost Boys enough last week.
But that set looks really good, and it's definitely, I would say, if you want to get Lost Boys, get it now. Because like Tom mentioned earlier with Paramount and Warner Brothers here released recently, they're going pretty quick, and they're not like making a whole bunch of them for whatever reason. So
yeah, Elvis is back in stock now, but that was
an
example of one going out of stock, you know, at local places and Amazon.
There were plenty of Elvises on 4K in stock when I saw them.
Let me guess, at your Best Buy.
Yeah, obviously.
Tom, play the clip.
I don't think people go to Best Buy anymore.
Well, I mean, there were even some in my Walmart.
Fuck your Best Buy. Well, Amazon. Fuck your Best Buy. Fuck your Best Buy. Fuck your Best Buy. Because I couldn't order it from Amazon, I ended up having to order it from Best Buy, and then it pissed me off because now it's like on sale.
I remember when people were saying they couldn't order it from Amazon. I'm like, how? Like, that's crazy.
You could order it, but you couldn't order it straight through Amazon. It was coming from another dealer. So like they were selling it for like $29.99, and then you'd have to pay like $8 something or whatever for shipping. It's like I ain't paying almost 40 goddamn bucks just for that.
I think they underestimated how well that was going to sell. Because because Amazon has never had a problem with Warner before. They've had issues with Disney and now Fox in turn because of Disney, but never with a problem with Warner.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be selling like crazy like that.
No, I think Greg's right. I think they just underestimated the early demand for it. Well, it's Elvis.
Yeah, because it was like weird because it came out in the movie theater and stuff. It didn't feel like it did. It
did better than you think it did, though.
Yeah, it did better in the business. Like you didn't like really hear about it, but it actually did really good in the theaters. And then when I don't think people they anticipated when it came out that people was going to want to buy that up really quick.
Well, I didn't hear anyone talk about like the box numbers, like the box office numbers, like at all for that movie. Like I didn't hear
Yeah, I
one
know.
person
It was
talk about it.
weird.
Like I feel like it was one of those movies like people just saw it and like
Well, it's because
people
in our
just stopped.
circles, nobody really talked about it.
Yeah, because we tend to talk more
no.
nerdy stuff.
Yeah, I know, but like no, but like I was gonna see that in the theater with like some friends of mine, but then my manager or whatever was telling me like, hey, like somebody called off work, can you mind taking their shift or whatever? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll work
But
longer.
no,
So
it's
that's
actually
why.
made $285 million.
Oh
Nice.
shit, that's pretty good.
It's definitely one of the better Elvis biopics I've ever seen. Other than the Baz Luhrmann stuff, some of that just gets in the way of itself. He gets in the way of himself in certain scenes.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, the kid knocks it out of the park as Elvis. Tom Hanks actually,
He's
I
great.
really don't understand why people were saying it's one of his worst performances. I'm like, no, it's
One of
not.
his best.
Unless it's just
It's
because
a
they didn't
really
like the
good
character, and it's like
performance.
you're not supposed to like the character.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking maybe it's because he has been portrayed as like a Southern gentleman type guy. Maybe people didn't really know the full extent of who Colonel Tom Parker was and how he wasn't American and all that. So maybe that's why they thought he was like,
Maybe.
what's this accent and what's going on here?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know, but it was a good movie.
I still think the best Elvis, like I still think the best Elvis we've gotten was Val Kilmer's performance in True Romance.
That's pretty good voice.
I
mean, considering you don't really see his face, but yeah.
I know.
Say my top two. Mine's got to be the Kurt Russell one and the new one. Them two are like at the top of my Elvis biopics I've ever seen.
And Bubba Hotep was fun too with Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, Bubba Hotep's a good one.
But Bruce Campbell don't look and really sound like.
No, he oh yeah, he sounds like Bruce Campbell.
He's Bruce Campbell playing Elvis Presley.
Yeah, I know. That's
the king is playing the king, okay?
See, but that's the thing, like, and I've even like, because my dad says that he thinks Bubba Hotep's like the best Elvis movie. I'm like, I disagree. I like Bubba Hotep. I like Kurt Russell more as Elvis than Bruce Campbell. I do like the concept of Bubba Hotep a lot. But like the one thing, my one criticism with Bubba Hotep is it starts off as really fucking slow for me.
It takes a minute, but I mean,
and then it starts
Don
building up.
Don Coscarelli and Bruce Campbell. I'm sold. That sells me. So
no, but
even though it's not really Elvis, like him playing, it's Bruce Campbell being Bruce Campbell as Elvis, which is fine by me because Bruce Campbell's awesome. But Don Coscarelli as director, it works.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like I just saw it as like I just watched it as Bruce Campbell just being hilarious, and I knew it wasn't gonna be like taken like too seriously. It's like, yeah, it's just Bruce Campbell trying to play Elvis, but with like a completely different concept.
Yeah. But if that's
so, what are we? It's your turn now.
Me,
right, Greg?
so I guess I'll start with my sword and sorcery one. And if anybody that's watched this show from its inception, if you remember me bringing this title on, let me know that in the chat because I don't remember ever bringing this title on. But Call the Conqueror, starring Kevin Sorbo and Tia. How do you say her last name? Carrera.
Yes.
Yeah, Carrera, which was hot. Probably one of my favorite Kevin Sorbo movies. I mean, he's not the greatest of actors, but I think he did a pretty decent job in this. But yeah, there you go.
Believe it or not, I've never seen it. I own it. I just have never.
You've never seen it?
No.
Really? And I do know this was actually supposed to be the third Conan movie.
Yep.
Originally, but then Kevin Sorbo did not want to take the place of Schwarzenegger, so they made it a Call movie.
Yep. Which is fine because a lot of the crap they used for Conan came from, I think, Cole Stories to begin with anyway.
First movie, it's like a merger of us. This is actually, it's not a bad movie. Kevin Sorbo, it does pretty decent in this. I mean, it's cheesy. The dialogue isn't the best, but it's got some great scenes. It's got some great battle scenes. It's got some great character moments. The opening is pretty cool. So it's not a bad little movie for what it is. And I can't believe I would have sure you would have saw this considering it Conan and Red Sonja and all that.
Yeah, I should check it out. I know Andre's told me a few times it's decent. So
does Andre like it?
Yeah, from my recollection, yeah.
It's a fun movie. It's basically
I
Kevin
think we're
Sorbo.
going to be doing a retrospective on it at some point because it does tie into Conan, like you said.
Nice. It does, yes, because like what I remember reading is it was originally supposed to be the third Conan, and then Kevin Sorbo was like, "No, I ain't going to play Schwarzenegger's role," and you knew he wasn't going to succeed in it anyways. So it became a Cole movie, and it's not bad. It's basically Cole is this barbarian sort of type character, and he carries an axe and he beats a bunch of the king's men, and the king is on his deathbed dying, and his heirs are trying to fight for his crown, and as he as he dies, he gives his crown to Cole, and Cole becomes the new king of this thing. And then an ancient evil sorceress played by Tina Carrera is awakened by like this cult type leader, and they want to use her to dethrone Cole, and thus the story begins, and how it, action and adventure and how to get rid of her and all that. Yeah. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. It's got some good moments. I enjoyed it. And if you've ever seen Hercules, the Legendary Journeys, his acting is better in Call than it is in that. So, just so you know.
Disappointed!
It sucks!
You never
poor
seen
Kevin,
that, Kevin Sorbo?
Yeah, poor Kevin Sorbo. He was never the greatest of actors, but he had a couple hits there. But there you go. If anybody wants to say anything else, we'll move on. Okay. Runner's gone at the moment. So, anything you want to say, Tom? Oh, here we go. Let me pop this on here.
Disappointed!
I always love when they do the evil version of a character because they're always so much badder and cheesier acting.
I don't know why they got it twice without.
It's funny. He was actually auditioned for the role of Superman in Lois and Clark.
I could see that.
Yeah, he was up for that role and they passed him over, and he went to Hercules. So, yeah, and because we disappointed, Dean Cain, which is funny because considering Dean Cain and Kevin Sorbo today, so they're still pretty cool guys though. I don't think he acts too much. I know he does some Christian movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him in too much. I think he's kind of conservative, isn't he?
Yeah, he's conservative.
So he's kind of
Christian
considered
now, so.
bad.
He's a big no to the Hollywood now. So disappointed. It makes me want to watch Hercules Legendary Journeys again, because I remember staying up late watching that in Baywatch, because the way that they played up so late at night in syndication here where I live, it was like 12 and 1 o'clock in the morning. I would watch Hercules, Xena, and Baywatch.
I guess he's supposedly quite active on TikTok with his kids. So.
Oh, really? I don't do TikTok, so.
I don't do the Insta-Tix either. So.
Yeah. I would say let's go to Runner, but Runner's gone. So
he ran away.
He ran
so far away,
and I just ran.
Couldn't get away.
Ran all night and day.
Well, I suppose I could do my sword and sorcery one, and then we can do our last one together anyway. So
yeah, we'll do it like that. Go ahead.
All right. So since you just did yours, I got the very limited. Was it 1,500?
Yes, only 1,500 of those.
And it's called the where is it? Oh, here you go. The Warrior and the Sorceress with David Carradine. Now this is a William Stout, cover. That's not the cover you may be familiar with. You're probably more familiar with the standard looking one here, which sucks because I wish we'd have got that poster instead of this one with it. This one's not as good.
Yeah.
But as if you noticed, on both of those covers, there's a four-breasted woman. And on this side of it, as you see, there was a tentacle monster. Now, of course, famously, how many movies did we rent as kids from the video store, Greg?
Tons. I mean, I can't even count.
That the cover was a complete misrepresentation
yes.
of what the movie was.
I'm back.
Or clearly nothing that was on the trailer is in the movie, right?
Right.
Well, this is one of the most accurate ones I've ever seen.
Really?
The one thing I will say, Kevin, why do I keep saying Kevin Sorbo? We were just talking about David Carradine disappointed, does not take his clothes off at any point, so he's fully clothed through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's the only misrepresentation there.
You mean he doesn't got that six-pack in them arms?
No. And actually, hilariously, he broke his right arm, a few weeks before shooting, because he punched the wall because his girlfriend pissed him off at the time.
Oh, nice.
So he had to learn how to fight with his left hand, sword fighting, from scratch. Only a couple weeks before the movie started. And in the movie, he wears this black cast thing on his right hand the whole time. That's how bad he fucked himself up. But I'll tell you, this shit is batshit crazy amazing. I fucking loved this movie.
See, I was very tempted to buy this because there's limited runs with like what I got last time. They're really good movies that are so bad and cheesy.
I lost count of how. Well, you know what? Let me just show you a trailer.
Good.
And I'll tell you how accurate it is. Because you just gotta see what I'm talking about here. Because this is
because I've never seen this.
Okay.
Journey now to an age.
Hey, that's Optimus Prime.
An age of mystery and magic.
Okay, I gotta pause there. That's the four-breasted chick. This is not in the movie.
It's not in the movie.
The one in the movie looks nothing like this, and her titties are out. In fact, I lost count because I went the other way finally. I started counting how many women actually had tops on. I got to a total of 5 out of the dozen or so women or more that are in this movie. Probably more. 90% or 80% of the women in this movie are not wearing tops through the entire movie.
That just wins me over right
so
there.
So this is not in the movie. This is on the cover, though. And there is a four-breasted chick in the movie. This is probably for some fucked up TV version that I've never seen before.
Yeah. So it's got
I don't
one
even
up
think
on,
this is the same actress, to be honest with you.
It's not the same actress. We just put her in here, but we get you a four-titted woman later on. Somehow
we're getting this four-breasted woman in this trailer, one way or another. Which is funny because they actually show some boobs here later on, so I got to be quick with this. If this is the same trailer, I think it's close. Yeah, it's the same
sorcery. The warrior and the sorceress on a planet lit by twin suns. Evil warlords battle to control the fate of an entire dynasty.
I love this. I gotta buy this one.
A mighty warrior rises out of legend to free an enslaved sorceress.
There was a time.
She does not wear clothes in the entire fucking movie.
I'm sold. I'm sold
too.
Now, I read the Wikipedia. Supposedly, the director was obsessed with this actress, and it shows.
She was his muse. She's my muse.
They're like, he was extremely obsessed with her tits.
They were beautiful.
Okay, so
perfect nipple placement.
Yeah.
When I could command, and I would obey.
Together, they forged the mystical sword, whose blade cannot be broken.
I don't even know how they're showing half the scenes in this movie.
Between good and evil. Sorcery.
If that was clearer, you'd have saw her tits.
Yeah, I saw a little bit.
Like, all this shit's in the movie.
Fatality in The Warrior.
I see some right there just a minute ago.
Oh, sorry.
Right there.
That was the one I was waiting for. Sorry.
Of all heroes.
That ain't shit compared to what's in the movie.
I was gonna say that ain't a bad action shot though.
This is Roger
In the
Corman flick, ain't
greatest
it?
of all
Yep.
adventure.
Yeah.
And
The
it
warrior
fucking
and
delivers.
the sorcerer. Cannot be broken.
Oh,
It is 80 minutes of fucking Corman cheesy goodness.
I've got to get this.
It is
one.
a remake of Yojimbo, but actually it's more of a remake of Fistful of Dollars, which is actually a remake of Yojimbo.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it is a blatant fucking ripoff.
is it in the Roger Corman cult classics and Shout?
It is
No.
in the limited run right now. You better get it because I think it's what 1,500.
1,500. It's just like the Doctor Strange and Space Truckers and all that. Which I was really glad to get Space Truckers and that Strip to Kill and Final Judgment because I really enjoyed those movies. So that looks like that's something I want to get.
Now I guess what happened midway through editing or early on in editing, the director John Broderick got in an argument with Corman and got fired.
Oh, really?
So this was actually edited by two different houses in two completely different countries. And it doesn't even show, even though some people say it's got some janky editing to it. There's only one bit where I was confused.
Really?
And you could almost argue that they left it that way on purpose so that there was a bit of a surprise, but it's not clear through the way it's presented if that's what's exactly going on, but you kind of figure it out kind of on your own. But it does clearly feel like there's a chunk of movie missing.
No, yeah.
Here and there. But other than that, it was a fun watch. It's got all these, goofy. It's kind of got a little bit of a Star Wars thing going on with some of the creatures, and I mean, there's not a ton of creatures in it, but it's like
it looks like a fun flick. It looks like a fun flick for real.
It was quick. It keeps you interested.
Well, when you got a chick walking around the whole movie naked, so.
Well, and it's really concentrated film. Like the whole movie is set in this, like there's this well in the middle of these two towns, right?
Right.
And these two towns are right next to each other, and they literally only have like maybe barely an army's worth of people in each town. And they trade with these like pig people, lizard thing looking people. And basically like it's this whole plot of whoever controls the well controls everything.
Oh.
So like in the beginning, it's like a back and forth of who's controlling the well. And then David Carradine comes into town. He's basically the man with no name. Mm-hmm. And he plays the whole setting them up against each other kind of thing, just like in Fistful of Dollars. It's almost verbatim. But what we find out is that the one side has this princess or the sorceress who is basically this old princess of this it must have been another town that got destroyed that was attached to this whole thing. Because you find out that because he looks at her hand and he sees this marking on it, and she's like, I used to control. It's in the trailer. She's like, I used to rule men, and he's like, yeah, and I would have followed. Basically, he's supposed to be from her old kingdom and vice versa. Because then he knows all about the sword that she can. People. Well, her whole thing is she can make the sword that nothing can break. Mm-hmm. Like that's kind of her whole thing, and this guy's trying to force her to forge the sword, and she refuses. So it's kind of like this whole like that's kind of what part of the plot too. It's interesting. It has enough to go on, especially considering they spent nothing on it, and you can tell there's tons of bloods, tits, goriness, and goofiness, and. It's a lot of it came out in 84, even though it feels like it was made in 1976.
Hey, there's a fucking dinosaur in it.
The little creature was kind of cool. He's like the one fat guy's pet. And that's one of the parts I didn't understand because he goes in, he breaks out the sorceress, and then he goes and kidnaps the green dude. So he takes the green dude to the one side and gets, because he keeps giving, like he goes, it's just like Fistful of Dollars. And Yojimbo, where he just keeps going back and forth collecting money from these guys, pitting them against each other, and he's the one doing all this shit. Well, and that's the scene where I'm confused because all of a sudden they have him there hostage, like they're going to do a trade. Well, then you find out, wait a minute, he just sprung the sorcerer. All of a sudden they got the sorcerer. So did he give her to them? If that was the case, then why didn't they show us that whole plot going down?
Yeah,
that is the part that's missing. That's the part
the
that's missing
part.
because it jumps from her getting rescued to him finding the little green dude. Because he tells her, go to this one place because there's this old dude who's kind of hiding around, who's obviously from their kingdom as well. And he's kind of hiding amongst the town.
Yeah.
Because he runs into him right away and he talks to him. He's just this old dude. And he kind of gives David Carradine's character the plot, up to that point to know what's going on. But yeah, they have no point where they kind of give you this idea of what's going on. I mean, they just kind of give you this wink kind of moment with David Carradine where he obviously reset this up and she knows what she did this on purpose. Because he's like, yeah, she's more braver, stronger than any of us, is what he says. Meaning she did this on purpose. Like, this is all part of the plan. You know what I mean? So that part's clear, but they don't make it clear enough, I think, for the moment. Because it took me a little bit to catch up to that. Other than that, it's fine. Like, that's the only part where I'm like, something's missing here. And they chopped something out there. And other than that, it feels fine. Like, I don't understand where they're saying it. Because compared to a lot of Corman movies... it doesn't really at this point, like, considering the production value they got out of this, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it looks good. I would totally watch
I don't know where they shot the dungeon scenes and all that shit, but that shit's legit. Looks good.
I'm definitely. I think I'm going to consider picking that one up before it goes out. Before Shout Factory does not have any more, because it looks good.
I'm thinking about buying it once I get my paycheck.
Yeah, that looked really good. I've seen it.
I'm thinking about getting that and the Army of Darkness, like set with the poster and the pins.
Cool. But I gotta see that. And
I got a question for Tom real quick. Sorry, Greg.
Go ahead.
Tom, did you get Army of Darkness yet? Did you pre-order it at all and get it a week early?
It's supposed to be on its way. I haven't got it yet. I got Evil Dead from Amazon already, though.
Oh, okay. I heard I watched mid-level
media.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I've seen some people get theirs, but for some reason mine shit from Shout takes forever to get here.
No, but I hear the Evil Dead remake 4K is kind of a disappointing release because it only comes with the 2 movies on one disc and that's it. There's no special features or anything.
Oh, well. Well, I have one of the older releases, so I don't have the one that they did with the director's cut, so I don't know if there was any additional special features on that one. So
yeah,
I have the old release, so whatever was on that, then yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but like I think, but the complaint is that like they paid like full price like they would for every other new Shout Scream Factory release on 4K, but at least all the others have like other shit in it, and in the Evil Dead remake thing, you know how it says collector's edition on like a Scream Factory title, or just Shout title. It's like they call it a collector's edition, but it only comes with 2 versions of the movie, and that's it. That's all you get. Nothing else. That's your collector's edition, people.
That's sad. That is sad.
I'm like, yeah, good thing I dodged a bullet on that.
Well, I just got mine. I haven't had a chance. I could have swore there was stuff on it though. Like I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Let me look here on shit.
I did see Mid-Level Media put out that video, but I didn't
see the video. Yeah,
I didn't watch it.
I also got the hot box though, but I haven't watched that yet.
I watched the video. Yeah,
I would be interested to know what the hot box looks like because that's another Corman movie. So
I guess that one's one from like a print because this one I'm not even sure I don't think this is the negative at all.
I think they said that was supposed to come from the original negative. Maybe it's an inner positive.
What, Evil Dead?
No, the Warrior and the Sorceress. Do yourself a favor, Joey, and them. Just watch the Warrior and the Sorceresses and not the Rings of Power. And I know I said Sorceresses.
Oh, it is. Wow. Then it's just because it's in that rough a fucking shape, man.
Yeah, because I know they bought a bunch of Corman stuff.
Because you can tell, well, especially during the title sequence, which is not obviously negative. That's optical effect. They had to put some major like scratch fix on the beginning of this movie. But as soon as the credits are over and it gets to the movie, it looks fine. I mean, there's some rough spots, but I mean, I thought it was like just I thought it was the inner positive maybe. I'm looking, you're right. It says new 2K scan of the original negative right here.
I thought it was a new 2K scan.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So there you go. But
let me look up Evil Dead here because I could have swore there was.
I thought there was supposed to be special features, but I do know that there were people complaining, and I know mid-level media put out that video, and I just never watched it yet.
Oh, wait, it does,
According to this, it does.
yeah, it does say there's bonus features. I just looked at it now. It doesn't look like there's a
Fuck
whole
is
lot.
he talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
All I saw was just like Evil Dead did Scream Factory.
This is
release a
Shout
lackluster
Factory's
video.
website. The 4K transfer from Sony, that I knew. Dolby Vision 5.1, audio commentary, directing the Dead featurette, Evil Dead the reboot featurette, making life difficult featurette, unleashing the. Maybe he means there was nothing new. Maybe that's what he meant, because this is all probably stuff that's carried over from the old Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Probably.
See, usually if they do something new, they put new on it, like this. See, let me show you an example here. Here you go. Here's one that I know has got new stuff on it. See here, all this says new for a reason. This is all new stuff. See, this was from the old disc. That's why it's not new. These were on the Blu-ray and DVD. That's why they're not new.
Okay, so I missed.
Although I'm not 100% sure if this was on the Blu-ray now, but I do remember I think they were on the DVD. But yeah. See, that's why maybe he's bitching. Because I remember looking at the case yesterday when I got it, and I saw all the special features. Because I was like, oh shit, I think I can get rid of the old one now. Because I don't even think I've opened it yet. Because there's a bunch of Shout Factory ones and some other ones that I haven't opened yet that I'm strongly thinking about taking to one of the disc places and seeing what kind of deal they'll give me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pre-call all these places and be like, what kind of deal are you going to give me for some unopened movies? A lot of them Shout Factory out-of-print discs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and if they're going to fuck me around, then no. But like if they're like, yeah, we're kind of interested. I know one place that might, because they usually get a lot of Criterion discs there. And they'll always put them in away. So like, I think if they're in the plastic, they might cut me a pretty decent deal. Because I got like, Candyman, for instance. I just got the 4K and I still got the other one in plastic.
Yeah.
Evil Dead, same thing.
Yeah.
There was another one that just came out too, that we just did last week. Funhouse.
Oh yeah, Funhouse. And,
so there's quite that's a handful. I got more now. I got about a stack of them probably I could.
Just go see what you can make from them.
I might.
Yeah.
I'll take trade-in credit too. I don't care. Like, because to me, trade-in credit's worth just as much as cash. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely going to check out. Consider getting the Warrior and the Sorceress. That movie.
It was so much better than I expected it to be. But don't get your hopes up on it being a great fucking movie.
Oh, I don't need it to be.
It is cheesy. It's bad dialogue. It's David Carradine, probably drunker than shit through most of the movie.
I liked him in
probably on pain pills on top of it all.
I liked him in that vampire movie, Sundown. So I'm cool with watching drunk David Carradine act the way he acts.
He's really kind of playing up the Clint Eastwood thing here a bit. But he's clearly like drunker on some sort of pain pills. It's obvious. It's got some beautiful women in it. I mean, as far as I'm trying to remember who plays the one bad guy.
Bad, beautiful boobs that you've sold me. That's my lane of movies.
I think it's the one bad guy in this. I think is the name Anthony DeLongis, I think.
DeLongis.
I don't know. But he's like I don't know. He was recognizable, but other than that, like nobody else in the cast that I really recognized. But yeah. But Runner, did you want to do your last one before we do our last one?
Yes. I have two more, but
yeah, because
you still got two more. Oh, so you get the last one this time.
Yeah, no, because I left for a bit.
Yeah, you ducked out on it. You ran away.
No, I said it'd be
Runner ran.
He ran so far away.
I just watched this movie. It's a Shout 4K or Scream Factory 4K since it's a Scream Factory title. It was pretty good. So it's also directed by Joe Dante, who did Gremlins and some other stuff.
Did you get the Piranha one already?
No.
Piranha.
Oh, I was going to say.
No. This
Well,
came
if it's
out
not
like a
Piranha,
month
it's either. Go ahead.
Yeah, what
No,
do you
no.
got?
Take a guess. I'm convinced.
Joe Dante. It came out a few months ago.
Yeah, like months ago. It came out the same. It came out the same like day as Alligator.
Oh, it's yeah. Oh,
Yep.
love that movie. It's a great movie.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
What do you think about the werewolf transformation scene?
Dude, the werewolf shit is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't that
like the animatronics and stuff are fucking amazing.
fucking? How do you do this, Runner?
What?
Greg just brought up that fucking vampire movie with David Carradine that is basically a ripoff of The Howling, and nobody noticed until I brought it up.
Exactly. He's got like this weird sixth sense of like the way things connect, and he doesn't even realize it.
Well, that this time I didn't realize it. There are a few other.
Because remember,
times
after my review of the Howling, I'm like, fucking Joe Dante should sue somebody.
Yeah, the Sundown is essentially
The same exact
the
plot,
vampire
just with
version
vampires.
of Howling.
It's about a group of vampires who have their own town. This is about a group of werewolves who pretty much have their own town, and they're trying to indoctrinate.
Yeah, and they bring this man and this woman come in. Except they have kids in the vampire one.
And I think you even have one of them who's like, we can live together, and the other ones are like, no! Just like in the vampire movie, too, if I remember right. Am I wrong? Remind me, Runner. I can't remember now because I'm mixing both of them up.
Wait, what happens in which?
I don't think in the werewolf and the Howling, yeah, they want them to live together, but they don't. They end up killing the sheriff at the end or something?
They killed the one older guy. Yeah, I can't remember if it's the sheriff or the.
They killed the blonde chick's love interest, whatever his name was.
They don't kill her husband. He becomes, well, I guess he does die, but he becomes the.
No, he becomes.
Yeah.
The
Oh, you're talking about
werewolf
the news reporter people, the young guy, the young couple that's her friends.
Yeah, no, but like when they're like escaping, she gets bit at the end when they're escaping, and then they shoot the werewolf down, and then she realizes it's that dude. I forgot his name, but like that's who they kill. Like they kill off him. In it.
She gets shot at the end too, but yeah.
Yeah.
And Dick Miller is in this, and he has a great cameo in The Howling. It's one of my favorites of his that Joe Dante gave him when they're coming in and he's staring at the nuns. It's like every day. I love that. But anyways, go on.
I don't got anything else to say as of now.
Brian Barth, if you want to know, we tried to debate it, but we didn't really debate it because we all three agreed. Me, Tom, and Gary Cassell from Pop Culture Minefield. We did a stream, The Howling versus American Werewolf.
Didn't we just agree that American Werewolf London was better, but they're both so different that it doesn't matter?
Yeah, we agree. We all agreed, and was like, yeah, this wasn't a really good debate. So it's only an hour long. It's still on my channel. You can check it out if you want. But I would, me personally, the original Wolfman and American Wolf in London are my favorite werewolf movies. But that doesn't mean I don't like The Howling. Howling is right up there. Dog Soldiers, and so many others. So yeah,
I still need to watch American Werewolf in London. I need to get the 4K from Arrow.
No,
I need to rewatch. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just say I need to rewatch that movie Wolf with Jack Nicholson.
Oh, Jack Nicholson, yeah.
Because I remember not liking it, and then I saw somebody's review of it who made me think of some things I never thought of before. And it's like, I haven't seen that movie since it came out. Maybe I should revisit it.
I always liked that movie. I thought James Spader played a pretty good part, and Jack Nicholson just kills it. But
well, I guess it got butchered by the studio.
Yeah, you could tell when you watch it. It's very poorly. Like
I guess the director's vision got completely lost.
So we need the director's cut of that one.
But yeah, because that was like his review kind of convinced me that it might be a better movie than I recall. But anyway, you were going to say, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Runner, so you have not seen American Werewolf in London?
Not yet.
Now, that would be interesting. Just saw me dance. That would be interesting because if you like the werewolf transformation in that, because they do go a little crazy on the bladders a little bit, but it's a really great transformation. I'd be interested to see your take on American Werewolf in London and the
A lot of the
transformation
same
and stuff
people
there.
worked on both.
Yeah, a
which is
lot
hilarious.
of the same people. Yeah. And actually, what was it? What's his name? It was Rick Baker was actually supposed to do The Howling.
Yeah.
But
And
he
then
ended
Rob
up.
Bottin did it instead, which Rob Bottin worked with Baker anyway. So.
Yep.
And then I think Baker came over and helped him with a few things anyhow, and vice versa.
I'll get to watching it at some point. I do like
American Werewolf in London has the better transformation. I think we all voted on that.
Yeah, we all voted that. Yeah.
I do like John Landis as a director, so.
And I will say though, the Howling werewolves are better than the werewolf in American Werewolf. They're more Wolfman-esque, which I like. But
the werewolves in the Howling are fucking crazy.
They're awesome. They have a really great design.
Like
well, that's the beauty, is they're two completely different types of werewolf, right?
Yeah.
But the werewolves in this movie are like, I didn't expect the design to be the way it was.
And it's intimidating too.
Yeah, no, but like it was like freakishly crazy.
Well, Joe Dante don't fuck around.
No, he doesn't.
No, he don't.
And I remember my parents made me watch Stripes as like a little kid, and Stripes scared the shit out of me. It was awesome.
You mean Gremlins or
what did I say?
You said Stripes.
Oh shit. I thought about Stripe and I said Stripe.
That's what I thought you meant. I figured as much.
I figured that's where he was going to.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Then you get to Gremlins 2, and it's like it literally is the fucking skit from fucking Key and Peele.
I haven't seen Gremlins 2 yet.
Oh my god. Have you seen the skit?
No.
Okay, watch the movie. Gremlins 2 is fucking amazing.
Oh,
if you don't watch the movie, you go online, you type in Gremlins 2 Key and Peele skit. You will laugh your motherfucking balls off.
You want me to watch that before I watch Gremlins?
No, watch the movie first.
Oh, after.
Then you go watch the skit. You will laugh so hard that the next time we talk to you, you're going to be like, "Hi, I'm Runner." And we're like, "What's wrong with you?" "Tom is right. I laughed my balls off."
That is like a dead-on impression of Runner. You nailed him.
But he'll be lighter because he has no balls. I don't talk like that. Are you serious? I thought there was two of you.
It's like the Army Hammer thing. It was
that.
really weird because it's like I was seeing two Army Hammers and two Runners at the same time.
Yeah,
that was a callback to Idiocracy.
Yeah.
I don't talk like that. I don't talk like that. Shit, I thought there was two of you.
I don't know, man. You're coming off a little.
They didn't like the way he talked because it came off pompous and.
But The Howling is a really, really great movie. How does the 4K transfer?
Where's your tattoo? Why got you not? Why don't you got no tattoo? Where's your tattoo, man?
It's a pretty good transfer. It was approved by Joe Dante, so.
Yeah, I watched it. I think I brought the same one on a while back. It looks pretty damn good. It's from the negative, as far as I know. Yeah.
So I still have my Shout Blu-ray, so I haven't upgraded yet.
I think it's worth getting if you like it that much, Greg.
Oh, I do. I love The Howling. It's
in my top the special features and everything that's included in that set. It's a decent set.
No,
yeah.
So
Nice.
I bought this. This was at my Best Buy when I bought it, and I was like,
fuck your Best Buy.
How much was it?
I forgot. Like they just like it was like day one they had this. I bought this day one when it was released.
Yeah.
And it came the same day as Alligator.
Oh, so you probably played the regular price.
Yeah. So I paid the regular price probably, but remember that one movie I showed like months ago, the Alligator movie with
Alligator.
Yeah. So I bought the same day as this. And I watched Alligator first because that one sounded batshit crazy. And it's probably one of the best like Jaws ripoffs I've seen.
Nerdporial's like, I did not see that movie at Runner's Best Buy.
Have you been lying to us, Runner?
That's because he bought it already.
Yeah, that's because this was months ago. Nerdporial.
Soon, I hope, Brian. Script's been very busy writing scripts.
There you go, Brian. Now you know.
Dude, and plus like they've changed like they like restocked and like put a bunch of new shit like few weeks ago. So
That's not Best Buy. That's Walmart. Jesus Christ.
I'm serious. Like
I know
like,
that's sad though. That's like
I know,
No,
because I loved my Best Buy, and now it's a piece of shit. It's so fucking.
I
Best
remember
Buy.
you don't understand, Runner. Like this is even probably before you were born. I remember when you could walk into Best Buy, and if it wasn't out, they didn't have it. Like they had everything you could think of, everything.
Definitely.
Now you can't get shit.
You just can't.
And good night, Bryant.
Oh, good night, Breitbart. Yes.
Night, Bryant.
Good
I
night.
remember that was the place where if you couldn't find it somewhere else, Best Buy fucking had it.
Always. I was like, I had the rewards card. I was like super rewards member.
Every
There was, like,
Tuesday I was there.
yeah, there was massive aisles. There's like 6-7 aisles, man, and it's just now I can't even go there. It sucks.
I guess my Best Buy is just one of the few that are.
Yeah, but you like it's probably because you live in
It's
like
still compromised, but yeah, it's better than most.
yeah.
No, Nerdporial confirmed it because we like bumped into each other. Like it wasn't even.
Oh, are you
planned or
fucking
anything.
serious? I thought he was kidding.
What?
you,
No,
guys
yeah.
live in this, you guys literally live in the same place?
No, we're close to each other. I think
That's
he
what I
lives,
mean. Like you live in the same area? Like, wow,
No, we
I
don't
didn't know that. I thought he was kidding.
No, I live in a suburb, but like I think he lives in downtown Chicago.
Never
We don't
mind.
live-
I didn't.
We live in the same state. We don't live super close. to
Close
each other.
enough that you've been to the same Best Buy.
Yes.
That's close enough for me. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was going in there one day after work.
Like, I kind of live in the same area
I know.
as
He
Jeremy
doesn't
the
live in my
Quartering, but I don't
basement
live in
with
the
me.
same fucking town.
He's not in my basement right now.
Not anymore. He escaped.
He got away.
Just for that.
Fuck your Best Buy. Fuck your Best Buy. Fuck your Best Buy. Fuck your Best Buy. Fuck your Best Buy.
There you go. Fuck your Best Buy.
But yeah, Nerdporial said he did go there. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
thought you were just fucking around.
No, he was. No, he wasn't. We actually saw each other there.
he's like, I don't know this kid. Get him away from me.
No. He was like calling me over. I didn't recognize him at first. I thought he was some homeless guy wanting money.
What? You thought he was a homo?
Yeah, I did. And then
This guy wants to fuck me.
No, yeah, no. So I was just walking because I thought he was some other person. Then I turn around. I'm like, oh shit, it's Nerdporial. So then we start talking for like half an hour about shit, and then at one point he does tell me like, yeah, like this is one of the better Best Buys I've seen in a long time. It's like, right?
Homeless guy. Yeah, Tim is even offended for Nerdporial. He's like, then Peter is too. He's like, oh my god, man.
No,
you called him homeless.
No, not homeless. I just thought he was a weirdo. That's going a little too far. Like I
That's
thought he was
even better.
Yeah, I thought he was some weirdo trying to call me. I'm like.
You trying
I'm
to
like,
pick me up or something, dude?
yeah. It's like why the fuck are you calling my name? It's like, what the hell? And then
So
I
you like
turned around and
coming
it's
to
like,
this Best Buy? I follow you here every week.
Yeah, no, I thought it was some creepo, and it's like, oh shit, no, it's.
I wonder what your skin tastes like.
By the way,
Put the lotion on.
by the way, if you haven't already, yesterday I did a live stream on my channel. We were talking about Nerdporial and I were talking about Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
Because I got him to watch it.
You should do more of that. That would help your channel. Just do like a talk a movie with somebody once a week.
I know. I want to do more. Like it just.
I remember when
I made it work.
I remember when Rookie used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Watch a lot of older movies.
That's what I think. That's what I thought about doing. I did that one stream just to test to see if like it would work, and it was pretty good. It was a pretty good stream.
That's cool. It's cool.
It's cute.
It's cute.
Did you watch it, Greg, or no?
What your
The Tropic Thunder stream.
Yeah, I watched a little bit. I didn't put it in the chat, but I did watch you a little bit live. So
okay.
I gave you that and everything. So
yeah. Because I finally got him to watch it because I think he told me like he got shit from so many people because he hadn't seen it, and I told him like, yeah, dude, you gotta watch it. And I told him like, when you watch it, we gotta talk about it on a stream.
There you go.
And we did. We made it work out because was it the week, like last week we talked about Prince of Darkness on his channel,
which is a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll segue to now. Speaking of like horror movies and Prince of Darkness and stuff, Tom, you want to go ahead and start with the what we got?
They're here.
Oh, that was creepy.
That was
creepy.
That was pretty cool though.
What's up, Bryson Whittington? By the way, this guy, if you guys, before we get into this, Bryson Whittington here, he's a really cool kid. He does drums. His drumming is in the new Killer Clowns from Outer Space video game. He does the music for the Search of Darkness. He works on that. Yeah, so he's a really great kid. He's really cool. So just so you guys know that.
Cool. I think I've seen you on Twitter or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Tom.
Well, you and I have the same movie.
Yes.
Ish. This movie, of course, came out in 1982. A year chock full of huge movies.
Yes.
I like your shirt.
Thank you.
And I, of course, got the
I like your
zombie
shirt.
edition of Poltergeist.
And I got the shitty.
Oh my God,
cover.
my poor dear. Does the movie look like that too?
No, the movie looks better than the cover.
Well, I mean the case on the inside.
Oh yeah. It's
the same on the
same.
See, at least they could have done his head like that on the other cover. I'm not a big fan of this either. But.
Yeah, I wish they would give you the reversible covers.
At least that Steelbook looks better than that.
And then you got Carol Ann scared on the inside.
I don't have that, but I have that.
Then you get a booklet and some lobby cards and a couple posters. Well, it's one poster flip around. So we both watched that. Plus, here's my old one just in case you want to see.
Yeah, I brought my old one too. You got
your old version.
Yeah.
The digibook, yeah.
I got the regular, and I was reading the back. It says new digital transfer from regenerated picture elements for the Blu-ray.
I wonder if this is the same fucking book
that they give you in that.
Just out of curiosity. I think it is. Yeah, it is. It's different font,
but it's the same
different pictures, but it's exactly the same. Yeah, there's a couple differences, but not many. It is exactly the same, though, for the most part.
Nerdporial Warner Brothers released Poltergeist on 4K.
Okay, so what did you just say, Greg, about the transfer? Because we're going to talk about that.
I was going to say on the Blu-ray here, on the back of the Blu-ray, it says for when this was released was a new digital transfer from regenerated picture elements. So that's why the Blu-ray looked the way it did. Because I know it wasn't the greatest Blu-ray.
What the fuck does regenerated mean?
That's what I was curious about, because it's getting to the 4K, because the 4K does look good. It is, I would say it is worth picking it up, even though the cover art is shitty. But like for the first 15-20 minutes of this film, it doesn't quite feel 4K. But after that, it kind of clicks in and the 4K is there. So what does regenerated elements mean? They don't have the full negative is what I'm thinking. So, which is weird.
Actually, believe it or not, this does come from the negative.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. According to High Def Digest.
Interesting.
Reportedly, coming from a new master of the original 35mm negative, the native 4K transfer showcases a welcomed uptick overall definition and clarity. But of course, it has a lot of optical work on it, but I think a lot of that optical work was done in like done in VistaVision or It's either VistaVision or like 65 millimeter or 70 millimeter, whatever. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Industrial Lights and Magic who did it.
Mhm.
To me, I thought it looked fine. I see maybe what you're talking in like in the optical stuff in the intro
Yeah, like just like the intro, like for the first like 15 minutes, it just didn't feel
during the
4K
credits
to me.
and shit. But once it got past the credits, it felt fine to me.
I thought it was a really good transfer. I don't
It's
know
a
that
bit
beginning.
softer. I think they did apply a lot of this. I will say, comparing this to Lost Boys, I think they did put a lot of DNR on this.
Yeah, I was
It
saying
feels
some
very
scenes I saw a little
soft.
bit of it. Yeah.
But that could also just be because it was shot in Panavision. That could very well be too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at movies like Superman, that also has like a softness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Grease was another film close to this period that has a bit of a softness to it. And that's just from the lens of the panoramic lens. It could just be that, but as far as I could tell, it looked pretty good. My issue with
I had no real complaints about
my
that.
issue with
like
this
that.
one was more that it looked like an older scan.
Mhm.
That's what I'm curious about.
That's
'cause
probably what I'm
this,
thinking.
It looks like, and this is what's weird, is because both, like I said, this and Lost Boys are only HDR for some. I don't even think they're HDR 10.
What is this? It doesn't even say what it just.
It might say on your disc.
Let's
It
see.
should say like HDR 10 or HDR 10 plus or whatever.
Let's see here.
I'm looking on mine.
That's what I'm looking.
Mine just says HDR.
So does mine. Mine just says HDR.
So that's what I'm wondering. Because that tells me these might be older scans and they didn't have a Dolby Vision upgrade. Same thing with Lost Boys. And Lost Boys just looks better just because the movie's newer. That's why.
Yeah, no. But seriously, the biggest complaint I have Poltergeist, because the picture quality is great. It looks perfect. I don't want to sound like I'm saying it looks great. It's really, really good. The audio is the biggest problem with this. The remaster audio or the theatrical audio, it doesn't matter. They both sound dull.
I think that's just part of the time it comes from, is part of it, and just whatever elements they had to work with. Because I'm pretty sure this is the same 5.1 mix that was on the older Blu-ray. And I bounced back and forth because I don't think we had the original audio mix on the old Blu-ray, but we do on this one. And to me, they sound fairly identical. There was a little bit more oomph, actually, I think, in the front end of the 2.0 mix, but to me, like the 5.1 mix just sounded like it was just spreading things out just a little bit more is all. I mean, overall, it was a decent presentation, but decent on a film like this is not good enough. As we were saying earlier on 4K for You, it's screaming for a Dolby Atmos upgrade.
Yeah.
Especially this one in Lost Boys is like a no-brainer. It's like, why
the
did these
atmosphere
not
help the sound?
Because these two films are kind of known for that in a way, especially the Lost Boys. I can't believe that one didn't. This one, I think it would have helped the time period of the whole thing. Like, it would have helped give it more of a vibrance that it doesn't have, that I think is just kind of lacking in this mix. And this is just as far as I know, the 2.0 stereo mix is the original mix, unless it is just a fold down to the 5.1 mix. That might be another reason why. I don't know.
I don't know.
And Warner Brothers has been guilty of that a few fucking times now.
They have, and it's like when I talked about it, I said I couldn't gush as much about the Poltergeist 4K as I could the Lost Boys 4K, but it's well worth it. It's well worth the upgrade to it because the Blu-ray isn't that great, and this 4K does look beautiful. So,
well, and the only added feature is you get the EPK. Which I don't recall being on the old Blu-ray. Yeah,
the only thing on the old Blu-ray is that the documentary, 2-part documentary thing, which is transferred over to the 4K, and then the 4K you get the making of and a theatrical trailer. So
yeah. So, and the documentaries that are on the disc are mostly about Poltergeist and shit, and they're not interviews with the actors and stuff.
Yeah, and they're only like
scientists
20,
and doctors.
30 minutes long or something.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
it could have used some really good special features. That's it. That's why Warner Brothers needs to release some control of some of these to like Shout or Arrow or somebody.
Well,
so
and
they
this was
can
an
give them-
MGM movie, so I don't even
that
understand why
too.
they're not diving into the whole like fucking amp this up. Go with the curse angle. Who gives a shit? There's like 3 or 4 decent documentaries already out there from like E and a couple other places. Get those on here. Make a new documentary. It's been a long time since people have talked about this movie. I mean, I keep going back and forth on who actually directed this movie because every time you hear somebody tell the story, it's different.
Yeah, it's true. I still say Tobe Hooper did it. I still say he directed it.
I think Steven was a very hands-on producer, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I think there was a bit of an understanding between the two because there is a lot of this that feels like a Steven Spielberg movie, unfortunately. For Toby, it is the most least Toby movie of all of his films. I think it's the most financially successful of all his films, if I remember right. So I can understand with him, because I don't think he's really ever talked about it too much. And I think his whole thing is probably just like, those bands that'll like struggle forever, keep hitting the top 10, but never get a number 1.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they sing a song for somebody else, that's written by somebody else, they get that number 1 hit. Saying, it happened to Aerosmith,
Right.
it happened to a bunch of other bands like that. So that's to me what it's probably what it's more or less is he kind of came in, did it as a work for hire thing, because the whole understanding was there was possibly a strike going to happen, and I don't think Toby was in the guild. Is my whole remembrance of the whole thing. So if
I think I remember hearing that.
If there was a strike, that means Steven would have had to shut down production. But as long as Toby was directing, they didn't have to shut down production if there was the strike. Was my understanding of the situation.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that. Yeah.
And a lot of people had posited that they're at least put out there that there was this understanding between Steven and Toby that Steven was there to actually do the job, but Toby was just there to facilitate and do whatever. But there's if you hear one person's version of a story or one day's work, it depends on who you're talking to. They'll say, I only dealt with Steven Spielberg, or I only dealt with Tobe Hooper. And then some people will say the fact that Toby was directing Steven in the scene where he's ripping the face off is direct evidence that Steven Spielberg did not direct this movie. He was just there.
Yeah.
And I say, well, I think it's somewhere in the middle. Because if you really listen to all the stories, it sounds like Toby handled the adult actors, probably some of the scarier elements and how to shoot and handle that stuff, the tension aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Steven handled the kid actors, and he handled a lot of the special effects and facilitation of, with working with ILM, working with some of the stunt stuff, the type of stuff that it works more to his strengths.
Right. That sounds about right.
Because if you listen to a lot of the actors, it seems like a lot of the adults, they'll tell you Tobe Hooper directed this movie. If you talk to the kids and a lot of the production people, they'll tell you Steven Spielberg directed this movie. But I think it's just because Steven worked better with kids than Toby did.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's the only reason that they probably had a look, you're better with the kids. Go ahead.
You handle that.
You handle that. Because he worked with both. They had a lot of the thing is the kids on this and E.T. shared a lot of the same, like the teacher or whatever, not nanny, but the tutor, whatever for the set. I think they shared, and a bunch of other shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like he was working with both sets of kids at the same time, basically, is what it was. And so they kind of just worked together anyway. So he would work on them with their scenes and all that kind of crap. But I think he worked more. Now, what's her face? The older kid, though, I think worked a little bit more with Toby. But I don't know because Dominique's been dead since not too long after the movie. Nobody really got many interviews with her.
Yeah.
So no one knows. But like according to like Ruba, how do you say your name?
How do you say it? Something Rubenstein.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Tangina.
Yeah.
Like she swears up and down Tobe Hooper directed the film. So
even like Joe Bob Briggs, he says Tobe Hooper directed the film because he worked with Tobe Hooper in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So according to him, he told him
Zelda
he
Rubinstein.
it, so.
That's it.
Yeah, Zelda. Yeah.
I couldn't think of how to say her last name, and it was like, is it Rubenstein or Rubenstein or whatever? And it's like Zelda
Rubenstein or Steen.
Stein, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, Drew Barrymore actually was gonna play Carol Ann, but I'm glad they swapped roles because
Right.
that's where they should have been.
Mm-hmm. It was better for her to be in E.T. and that poor girl to be in there. I can't even think of her name.
Heather O'Rourke.
Yeah, Heather O'Rourke. Man, it always slips my. Yeah, Heather O'Rourke. It was definitely Carol Ann.
Well, and of course, a couple years back, 2 and 3 actually got some love.
Oh yeah, how about you?
From Shout Factory. They got new 2K scans of the inner positive.
You got the slips,
and I've got the slips. And yeah, I actually like the sequels. It's a pretty solid trilogy. The weird thing is I have seen 3 outside of the first one more than any of them. Because 3 was on Showtime constantly.
And on TV all the time.
Constantly. And I don't hate it. It's not a horrible sequel. It actually, it's got a strong supporting cast with Tom Skerritt and Nancy Allen coming in place. And then you got, what's her face in it too, is one of her first films. Oh God, what the hell's her name? The black-haired chick. She was in Men in Black 2 and
Linda Ford. Is that her?
No, that's the first one.
Oh,
the second movie, the bad chick.
From Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of her name. I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of her name.
God damn it.
Jack Nicholson dated her. Speaking of which.
Yes. And I can't think of her damn name. It was one of her first movies.
Yeah. I can't think of her name.
It's on the tip of my tongue too, and I'm just like,
I know.
It doesn't say it on the cover, of course.
Of course, yeah. When you go to look for
she isn't listed.
Lara Flynn Boyle.
Lara Flynn Boyle.
There you go. Thank you, Steven.
Yes. I kind of like the gimmick of part 3. Takes us out of the suburbs.
Puts you in the city.
Put you in the city. I really like the cool idea of all the mirrors in this building and just kind of how anything can become a mirror,
Yeah.
Sadly for Heather, she looks like shit.
Yeah.
This is when she was getting sick.
Really sick, yeah.
And taking steroids when they were because they misdiagnosed her.
Mm-hmm.
Which is sad because this is the time she should have got the operation that could have saved her life.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not even a year after this, she was gone. Less than that. Because they had to do some other shit for the reshoots. Which is weird because they do have the alternate ending on here from a nice scan. Mm-hmm. They don't have the audio. Somebody has a version of it online with the audio, but it's a shitty looking picture. Ooh. So I don't know why they just didn't take the 2 and marry them, but yeah. The alternate ending ain't that different. It's got some little differences to it, but anyway. I don't know if you remember the films all that much, but the second one, of course, is decent. It's solid.
I remember surprisingly, I know because, yes, the third one was on TV all the time, but it's actually the one I've seen the least. I remember the first 2 more than I remember the third one. So, yeah, I remember the second one. It was pretty good, and that the old man, which...
You're gonna die.
Yeah. Which is creepy as shit too, because like the whole movie, he's scarier than any of the Poltergeist stuff.
Yeah, Kane.
Yeah, Kane. And then what's even creepier is like they've death masked his face for the third movie because he had died, and so they put the guy's death mask on the other actor to make it look like him.
And it don't look nothing like it.
And it don't. It's just even creepier.
Yeah. And I think he's only he's not nearly as tall as the original guy either. I don't think.
He wasn't. Yeah, but the second one was pretty creepy, and then with their new house and everything, and then coming back, it was good. I like it.
The problem with the third movie is if you feel the lack of the budget in certain aspects of it. Just the way it's shot, it's not shot in scope like the first 2 films are. It's the music is horrible. Like, I do not own the soundtrack to Poltergeist 3 for a reason.
Yeah.
Poltergeist 1 and 2 are fucking amazing. Jerry Goldsmith, fucking... that's one thing we didn't even touch on, right? Like, the music that Jerry did for Poltergeist
it's amazing music.
Hauntingly beautiful, and just that little, Carol Ann's theme with the little, la la la.
Yeah.
Playing
Yeah.
against the minor chords and stuff here and there with just the uneasiness of it, and how the rest of the music it just played so well, and it's so
It
subtle throughout
works.
the rest of the movie, right?
Yeah,
You
because
don't
then
really
like
even
when it gets
notice
to
it,
the and then
but
it's
you
like
know
nice
it.
balance in there, and it's in your head, and you can like hum it, and then you can hear when it gets to the tense parts, and it builds up. It works. It works.
But yeah, the third film is done on like a keyboard, and it sounds like it. Like I can't believe it. Like part 3 feels like it was meant to go straight to video or something, but it wasn't. It was actually one of MGM's bigger, I think, summer movies that year, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Like,
I think what I've read or heard or seen something is like it was they were planning on it to be a big release and a big
well, because the
big
first 2
thing.
movies did very well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even Tom Skerritt being in it was a big help, and Nancy Allen's great in it. And I mean, what else can you do with the family at that point? I mean, and it
Yeah.
kind of makes sense. I mean, it makes enough sense. They send her to the city so she can go to the special school and all that kind of stuff. So that part, all makes sense. But, and like I said, I like the whole mirror thing. And, the idea that this doctor is stirring up Kane again.
Mhm.
I like, that whole thing. And I don't know. I don't hate it. I think that the second and third film are both pretty decent sequels as far as that goes. So
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid set of movies. Trilogy, Poltergeist. It's it is weird that like because everybody always remembers the first one. You don't get to hear too much about the second, third one, but they were actually just as popular.
surprisingly,
as the
most people actually, it's funny. Most people confuse the second one with the second one from the first one.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people who are like, they cut out the scene with the braces. It's like, no, that's in the second one.
Yeah.
And the worm scene. Everybody remembers the braces and the worm scene.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times I've gone into comment sections and seen it. Everybody, well, they cut this out. They cut this out. They cut it. Because when I was looking up the shit for the Pizza Hut scene.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what I call it, even though I don't believe that's why it was cut out. That's where everybody's like, yeah, and they cut this scene out too, and they didn't have the braces scene. It's like, well, no, those were in part 2. Because people get those two for some reason. Those 2 scenes, everybody gets them confused with the first.
Maybe because it like feels like it belongs in the first movie or something. Or just
poor
like
Robbie, I mean,
yeah, that poor kid.
Everybody's like, poor Carol Ann. Well, fuck, Robbie's the one who's gone through the most traumatic
and then
shit
he gets
outside of
eaten by a tree, and then he loses his sister. Then what happens?
Choked by a fucking clown.
Yeah, choked by a clown under his bed and or on top of his bed and everything.
All she did was go to the other side.
Yeah,
and all theirs, they treated her like an angel.
Yeah. That poor kid. He really and he's just like so traumatized. He's just standing even when they get him out of the tree in the first movie and they go back up to find Carol Ann, they just leave his ass there too.
Yeah.
Just leave him standing in the doorway where the room is and just go looking for her, and he's just like shaking and traumatized by what he just went through.
That fucking clown, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the second one, him and the braces, that always bothered me as a kid. Like, that was the one that got to me. Of all the shit in all the movies, that was the one that always bothered me. It's just like, glad I never had braces.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I've never had braces either.
Have you seen any of the movies, Runner? You've been quiet,
no.
so.
No.
Oh, okay.
I
don't know if they'd hold up for you or not.
Well, here's the thing. I thought about getting it on. Well, when I bought the Lost Boys Steelbook, there was one more Poltergeist Steelbook, but I didn't have the money for it because I bought I think I bought the Lost Boys Steelbook, and then there was they put Gremlins on 4K in the shelves back again, so I bought a copy of that because I didn't have it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's an older Warner Brothers one, so it's not the greatest looking, but it's all right.
No, I know. So because it was on there for a while, last year, but then I didn't get it for some reason because I wasn't sure if it was a good transfer. But then I heard people like you talk about it more. It's yeah, you can tell some things don't look like it's from the negative, but for the most part it looks fine. I think I've heard people complain mostly about it being too dark or whatever. So
I think what people are complaining about is that when you get to the gremlin scenes, because of the way they process them, clearly, yeah, those shots are not from the negative.
Okay, yeah.
But everything
that was
else is. I mean, that everything else looks fine. It's just certain shots of the gremlins and shit where they're sped up. And that's why I'm concerned with like Ninja Turtles and Little Shop of Horrors, depending on how they are shot.
I'm more worried for Ninja Turtles.
Because even though supposedly they found the negative for Ninja Turtles and it has been scanned, we still haven't heard shit about a
4K
release yet. So.
Yeah,
dude, that would, man, that is one of the top like 5 like in my wish list for a 4K.
it'd be good.
The first one at least.
Oh yeah, it's definitely in my top.
Definitely, yes.
And I would get was it Secret of the Ooze?
I almost want Secret of the Ooze is bad because like that one will pop on 4K.
Yeah, that one because it is a lot brighter.
Yeah, absolutely. And everything. And I tried watching the third movie. I fucking can't.
It's
it's something.
But I was like really little when I watched those movies. But
it's like if you want to see the 80s cartoon as a live action movie, see the third film.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch the third film for some reason, just because like it didn't feel like it belonged in the first 2 movies, whereas I watched those first 2 movies and they feel like they connect, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Well, there's reasons for that, but yeah.
I know there's reasons. Well, now I understand it more now that I'm older, but like but when I was young, I was confused as fuck. I was like, why is there a new April again? Why do they have dots on their skin? I was like, what the hell's going on? And then like they teleport to like some other area, and I'm like, I'm out.
You know what's fucked up about that whole thing is that was supposed to have a whole like overarching thing that was supposed to tie in to the comic books, the movie, and the cartoon at the time. It never all came to fruition. The comic book side of it did, and then the movie did somewhat, and then the cartoon I don't think did their part.
Yeah, they just we messed with
that. But I watched that. I watched like the first 5 minutes, and I was just like, I just tapped out at that point. I'm like, I can't watch this.
Yeah, because they actually introduced the scepter in a comic book.
Yeah,
just before the movie came out.
Now that I'm much older, I'm willing to give it a shot. Honestly,
it's not a better movie in the least. And I don't know how.
I don't expect it to be good. I'm just saying, like,
it has some moments to it, but
I think I'm just saying I think I can watch it like in its full runtime is what I mean. Because I couldn't when I was a kid.
Here's the thing that's weird about the Ninja Turtles movies. The first movie is more the comic and just enough of the cartoon and toys to give you, if you're somebody who's not aware of the comic, there's enough of it there for you to go, okay, it's Ninja Turtles. But otherwise, it's more or less the comic. With, like I said, just a little bit of flavor of the cartoon. You get to the second movie, it's like 50-50.
Yeah.
Well, it's like 50% the cartoon, 50% the comic. By the time you get to part 3, it's like all the cartoon.
Yeah, the second movie is literally they tried to like make it a little more kid friendly, I guess.
They did try to make it more like the cartoon. That's why I said it's more of a 50-50.
Parents started complaining after that first movie. I know with the weapons and stuff.
That freaking sucks because like.
They even complained about the fucking sausage in the UK. They said, can you cut down this use of the sausages? They look too much like chain sticks.
Chain sticks.
Well, that's what they call nunchucks over there.
Yeah, nunchucks.
Because they're illegal as fuck over there. And they had to cut. That's where, if you watch the series, the animated series, that's why when you get to season, like, I can't remember if it's like 5 or 6, it doesn't really matter. But you get to a point where Michelangelo quits using his nunchucks altogether.
Yeah.
And all he uses is his little grappling hook because for some fucked up reason, in the UK especially, and a few other places in the world, nunchucks are so illegal, and they were worried that kids were going to be able to make them, that they did not want them in the show. So the company that made the original animated film or made animated show got so sick and fucking tired of animating 2 different versions of Michelangelo for every episode, that by the time they got to that season or whatever it was, they're like, fuck it. From here on out, Michelangelo does not have nunchucks. Period. It pissed a lot of people off, me included. I'm like, you can't take away his fucking nunchucks.
I had my dad make nunchucks at his job.
They were talking about taking away fucking Raphael's size as well for a while, because those are a bit more graphically violent weapons. But
yeah.
I feel like this. I don't know. Well, Donatello's staff.
The swords are the worst,
violent.
of course, but the difference is it's a lot harder to make a real sword than it is to make real nunchucks and a real pair. Like a pair of sais, if you actually manage to make those, will fuck somebody up.
That's true. That's true.
Like I'll tell you right now, from somebody who studied the shit and actually has a pair of sai is one of the strongest weapons to have for a reason, because they can eliminate almost every other weapon. They can tangle up nunchucks. They can break swords, and they make it a pain in the ass to use a stick. So pretty much any kind of weapon, a sai is going to best every time. And not only that, you do not want to get fucking stabbed with one of those bitches. No. It is going to hurt.
No.
Yeah.
Because it is blunt and sharp at the same time. So it's not like an edged weapon. Like some guts are coming out when I fucking pull that some bitch
out. But yeah. I made nunchucks as a kid. Lots of them. We
all did. Fuck, we all did.
Like my dad, I had him at his work.
If you had a cool dad or uncle, they helped you anyway.
Oh, tell me about it. My
dad
worked.
I had a sword and everything, and my fucking friend's dad took the sword. I'm like, you asshole! You have any idea how long it took us to make that sumbitch? And it was a good sword too. We went through a lot of the actual fucking things to make a sword, and it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty goddamn good for some kids making a sword. My older cousin helped us do some of it and shit. It was like, yeah.
And they took it from you, man.
Fucking took it.
That's bullshit.
Dude, I remember making my own nunchucks. It was fucking awesome.
Oh, I had a whole... I still got a shit ton of nunchucks, but mine now are all actual...
nunchucks, yeah.
Real nunchucks, but not like my handmade shit.
Yeah, no. I don't... I think they might have been like thrown away or something. I don't know. But
my problem is they'd always break eventually. But
yeah, you use them so much and spend them so much. Like,
I thought about buying a pair of nunchucks when I was at Fan Expo Chicago, but I was like,
I used to have a nunchuck making kit, motherfucker. My mom would be pissed because she would buy so many new brooms because of me. Broom handles make perfect nunchucks. I'm sorry.
They do. They do.
So I told mom, and even better yet, if you got 2 round ends, goddamn, that was a find. If you could find 2 old broomsticks that had the same size, same weight, and round ends, you were fucking in heaven.
Yeah.
Because I had a whole making kit. Like, I was ready to go. As soon as I had the right sticks, like, is the 2 things I could make a nunchuck with, they were going to be made into nunchucks. I had dog chains galore. I learned early on that it was a bad idea, but I still couldn't find a better way to do it because I couldn't get myself a way to figure out how to do ball joints yet, like they do on real nunchucks.
Right.
But I would have like the hooks that you would use for to hook like on a door, like a door hook, just your standard old round hook, whatever you call them.
Yeah.
Hook screw. I screw one of those bastards in the top, get my fucking chain in there just right. They look pretty nice. Fucking electrical tape down the whole fucking thing, make it look nice with the finish. Oh, fuck yeah.
That sounds very familiar to stuff I used to do.
Baby. Oh, shit. You got some chucks.
Heck yeah, man. I was always Michelangelo, so I always wanted nunchucks.
you found one of those metal, hollow fucking broomstick handles.
Yeah,
those
dude.
Them would hurt.
Oh yes.
I got a question, Tom. Have you ever talked to Shadversity?
I think I've been on a show or 2 with him, but I've never really actually had a chance to talk. I'm not 100% sure though.
I only asked that question because he fucking hates nunchucks.
No, I don't think I don't think I've had that conversation anyway. But
yeah.
No, because I remember I've seen him in like streams. I think it might have been like Friday Night Tights or something, and he was like, he had this like rant about nunchucks being like the worst weapon ever.
Oh no, they're not.
They're a great
Like
weapon.
he like makes points that like they're like pointless and like and all that or something like that. And
That sounds like somebody who don't know how to use nunchucks or has hit themselves a lot trying to do stupid shit.
See, the thing is when I heard his take about nunchucks and stuff, it's like I wonder, like I want to see him and Tom have a conversation together. Like I really want it to happen, because I mean I even watched some of his videos. They're really fucking good when it comes to like the practicality of weapons and stuff, testing to see if they work and all that. So I kind of respect where he comes from, but
Depends on what you're up against.
yeah, nunchucks are fucking cool though.
And it depends if you know how to use them, because if you can be like Bruce Lee and fucking like he's lethal with them bastards.
Yeah.
I mean, if you keep hitting yourself, then yeah, they're kind of useless. But a sword is only good for, you got to have like a certain length between you and your opponent. See, and unfortunately, size and nunchucks, if I have a choice, those are the two I'm going for.
Yeah,
I'm taking one. I love swords; they're beautiful and gorgeous, but yeah.
Yeah, I like swords, but they were never like my go-to.
They're not very practical.
Yeah, like size are badass.
You have just as much or worse of a chance of hurting yourself with a sword than you do your opponent. Because you fucked up, and especially if you got like a katana, you'll fuck yourself up good.
Yeah, and I do like bow staffs too. I think they're pretty cool.
Well, they're the most easiest to learn to use.
Oh yeah, obviously. I would always like I would always have some type of long like stick or whatever when I was a kid, and I would like practice spinning it around and shit. It was fucking awesome.
Pretty much what you got to do. Just find what. I mean, a lot of martial arts is not so much knowing specific like moves or anything like that. It's finding a lot of what works for your body and works good for you to be able to wield the weapon practically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Half of it's show, because part of it is like peacocking a little bit, because that's what the kung fu movies are all about. That's where people get into that shit. So that shit's not the practical shit. A lot of that's just like, baton throwing type crap. The same thing with nunchucks. Yeah, if you're doing all the fancy chucking shit, you got better chance of hitting your fucking self in the head than you do somebody else. But if you're going into pure combat, you're not doing that kind of shit. Right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's really blunt, quick hits. Like look at Bruce Lee when he uses nunchuck. That's basically how you're gonna use it. Not the flippity dippity stuff that he's doing, but just when he's hitting guys. Like it's a lot of flipping it right out of from under his armpit, right? Why? Because that's a quick, hard hit, and you can knock somebody out real quick doing that. And you don't need to have, and it's not going to necessarily kill him, but it's going to take him out of the equation. And even if it doesn't knock him out, it's going to hurt. It's going to daze him for a minute.
Yeah. Did you play the latest Mortal Kombat game, Tom?
I played
Mortal Kombat 11.
No, not 11.
Okay, because that was.
I think I got it though. I don't know.
Because Liu Kang uses nunchucks in that game. Like they brought that whole thing back, because I think he might have used nunchucks in like one of the older games, and they brought it back for the new one. I thought that was pretty cool.
Cool.
And I'm not pretending to be Bruce Lee at all, Peter Venkman. My point is if you watch the scene, he's doing all the fancy like wah wah stuff with the nunchucks in between fighting guys. But when he's actually fighting the guys, they're real quick hits. It's not the fancy shit. The fancy shit's in between just to show off.
Yeah.
Right? That's my point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because really it's just a lot of flipping. Like you have it underneath your armpit and you're doing flips. And then you flip it back around and flip and back around. Because you can combat a lot of people real quick that way and keep them at a distance. And you're not hurting yourself by hitting them with your hand. And yeah, it's just see, the thing is movies and the way we view, like I actually trained in Taekwondo and some other things when I was younger. So like, I'm not saying Shad's wrong per se. Like nunchucks are not the most effective weapons if you got to fight somebody with a sword, especially if you got somebody fighting with a sai, you're fucked. They can wrap you up real good. But if you're fighting somebody with a bow staff or no hand, no weapon whatsoever, or maybe even a knife, I'd probably rather have a nunchuck than a knife, because the chances are I'm going to be able to get that knife out of your hand in some way with the nunchuck and hit you with it, or open you up for another hit.
That's a good point.
Where a knife, you usually get one lunge at somebody, and once you get that, then you get your shot. And yeah, unless they get you on the first stab or they catch you off guard, like, that's the thing. Like, of course, you always have that chance of somebody catching you off guard and stabbing you 12 times for you. Then there's nothing you can fucking do anyway. Doesn't matter if you got a gun or a fucking sword then, right? So it only matters, again, it all matters on how you're engaged in combat, basically. And I've never actually used any of my weapons in actual fucking physical combat. I'll be the first to say that. I've practiced with them, and I've had sponge, like swords and sticks and nunchucks and shit that I've practiced with, but we'd never use real fucking weapons. The closest we came was wood.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like wood swords for that matter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So I guess we'll close it out here. We've been going for 2 hours 45 minutes. Is there anything you guys want to promote before we close it out?
Oh, is that his last one already?
Yeah. Wait. Oh no. Yeah, that's right. Do you have one more runner?
Yeah, I do.
I forgot. Let's see what your last title was. I forgot.
We won't.
I know you're getting tired.
Yeah, we won't talk about it. We won't talk about it a whole lot.
I had too many movies, guys. I'm sorry.
No, that was great because I didn't have much at all.
No, you guys were talking about Poltergeist for so fucking long.
Oh, as soon as I got Poltergeist in the mail, like I fucking watched that as soon as I could.
Same here.
Lost Boys too,
yeah.
I did not know that this movie was out on 4K or anything. It's from RLJE Films or whatever they're called. Same guys that do some of the Shudder shit, I think. Yeah,
pretty much. They're the same people.
Yeah, I don't know if this is in Shudder. It's not a horror movie, but like it's this is I'll say this. This is I found out about this movie because of Paulie from Latino Slant, right around when he was starting his channel. He talked about this movie, and I think he had.
Oh, thank God, it's not RRR.
It's not RRR. It's not RRR. If it was, well, no, I don't think that's out on physical yet.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I was just making a joke.
Oh yeah. I think he had someone from the cast on from this movie. I thought it was pretty good. I don't love it as much as most people, but it's pretty damn good. It's directed by David Ayer, who you may know directed Suicide Squad, Fury. He was the writer for Training Day. The Tax Collector.
Oh, I kind of vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
It's a good chance. You should give it a chance. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, Shia LaBeouf's in it. Yeah.
Oh,
Shia LaBeouf's fucking great in this movie. He's fucking.
That's what
fantastic.
I've heard. I guess Paulie talked it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've never even ever heard of it. To be honest with you.
It's not a bad movie. It's quite good.
No, I'll have to check it out because I honestly I've never ever heard of that movie, ever, till just now.
I'm not sure if it's like. See, I'm not sure if like Greg will like it. I don't think he'll like it as much as me, but it's decent. It's a decent movie.
Cool. Is that Blu-ray?
No, it's 4K.
It's 4K. Nice.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Draven?
Nice. So, what's the basic plot of the movie, real quick, before we?
Basic plot is the main character. I forgot their names.
The basic plot is the main characters. I forgot their names.
Yeah, no. That I'm gonna say more than that. Stop interrupting me. No, I was kidding. He's a family man, and he's a tax collector, like a gangster tax collector dude. And Shia LaBeouf's character is named Creeper. That I do know.
Okay.
I know his name's Creeper, and he's like, he's like this dude is like like if like you do something wrong, like he is like he's like really close to like shooting your ass. Like he doesn't mess around. And this is probably one of his best like performances I've seen him.
Cool.
Only because it's a good movie, because like there's a ton of people who like give him shit, and it's like that's because you've seen him in bad movies. Like if you actually watch a
I'd
good
tell
movie,
you,
if
you
you
watch the movie Peanut Butter Falcon. He's really good in that.
yeah, like you should see him in Fury, which is another David Ayer movie. Like he's fucking great in that movie. Cause some people will be like, oh, he was terrible in Indiana Jones 4. It's like, yeah, it's because it's a shit movie. That's why.
Yeah.
But no, he's great in this. What is it? And there's the bad guy is basically out for this dude's family and basically wants to ruin his life. That's
Cool.
basically the short plot without like giving anything away.
Nice. I might check it out. I don't know. I'm not a huge David Ayer fan, to be honest with you. I'm not. But I've never heard of that.
I feel like you haven't seen a ton of his work to like, maybe that's just me, like because I don't think you've seen Fury, have you?
No, I've not seen Fury. No.
You need to watch Fury, because if you're just gonna hold him to the Suicide
No, it has
Squad,
nothing to do with the Suicide Squad. I've never really found had an interest to seek out his movies. So I'll give it I'll try to give it a whirl.
well, I think Fury's a better movie, objectively. And plus, was it I think I forgot what other movies he's directed.
I don't. Yes.
I haven't seen any of the other stuff he's directed, but yeah, like Fury's great. The Tax Collector's good. He also he directed that movie End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal. I still need to watch that.
I've never seen any of those movies. But I'll check it out, and it's hey, that's something different than we usually have on here. So that was a good pick. That was a good one to bring in.
Yeah, I had a feeling that you've never seen this, so that's why I brought it. I'm like,
well, there you go. I mean, something new, something different. See, we don't all watch everything all the time. So
no, but
sometimes you bring stuff that we've not seen, and that's pretty cool.
No, but the stuff you guys talk about, it's like, because before I'm like, damn it, has Greg seen like every movie ever?
Yeah, if it's from the past, I've seen a lot from the past. I haven't seen a whole lot of modern new stuff lately because I tend to just not.
No, but it's even funny because sometimes I try to like be like, hey, like you've probably never seen it since it's one of the more modern movies or whatever, and then I bring it up and it's like, and you're like, oh, I've seen this before.
But no, I've never heard of that one, and I may check it out. But real quick here before we close out, if anybody, Tom or anybody, Tweaky the kid wants to know, is there any recommendations on lens and disc cleaners for 4K? I'm giving Star Trek 6 a spin for the first time and see what looks like water stains on the disc.
Weird. I wonder if that's that oil crap that keeps coming up on discs lately.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Let's see here. I would say you want a very non-abrasive cloth. Luckily, 4Ks have the same protective coating that Blu-rays do, so you don't have to worry too much about scratching it very easily. But just make sure you have a non-abrasive cloth. Just make sure there's nothing on the cloth that could possibly scratch it worse. Just use, if you have like some lens cleaner of some type, maybe, or some non-alcoholic cleaner of some type. Don't use Windex.
No, God, no, don't use Windex.
Anything that's like meant for like any regular CD cleaners, DVD cleaners, I think even something you'd use for your screen should be okay.
Yeah, I was about to say the stuff they give you for your HD TVs to clean.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be okay for the most part. Yeah, as long as it doesn't have any harsh chemicals in it, and you should be fine. Otherwise, just sometimes you don't even have to put anything on it. Just try wiping it at first and just see whatever it is just might come right off, because the type of surface they have, they usually tend to not, unless it's something that's very sticky, it'll usually just wipe right off. So that's what I would say first. Just try to wipe it without putting anything on it first, and just see if it doesn't come off, like just by lightly wiping it off. And you want to go away from the center out. That still stands as always.
Yep.
But yeah, sometimes unfortunately you can get just about anything, even remotely tiny on there, like a minor fingerprint. And unfortunately, for how small of an area 4K Blu-ray has to read, the littlest thing can knock it out of whack. So.
It can get messed up quick. But there you go. I hope that helps. And he does say thanks. So there he goes. I hope we given anybody that's watched tonight and any recommendations for movies to watch or movies to purchase. Thank you, Runner. Thank you, Tom. Like I said, you guys got anything coming up you want to talk about real quick before we?
Just the regular stuff.
Regular stuff, yeah.
I can't think of anything. I mean,
all right.
I'm looking forward to the stream we're doing next week. That's for sure.
The Scream stream. Hopefully, yeah. I thought that was that Masterpiece song from part 2.
I mean, too. That's what it was.
That's hopefully I will be able to get my Scream 2 4K. I'm really just considering getting the regular.
Mine hasn't shipped yet.
Yeah, that worries me. So.
It says October 4th, so we'll see.
I'll get it Tuesday. I'm not
worried. Yeah, fuck your Best Buy. We know. But yeah, well, October, I'm going to say the October coming up, I have a lot of big things planned for October. So we're going to do the Scream stream. I got an interview with an aspiring Scream queen, which I talked to you guys about. Sadly, you won't get to see her on there, but you'll hear her. She's got a lot of cool stuff to say.
Hear me coming.
Yeah. And I got some other stuff planned, and I hope you guys stick with the channel and sub to Runner, sub to Tom. Midnight's Edge After Dark, and Midnight's Edge Radio.
Share my screen real quick. Speaking of Scream, look who commented on my comment.
Yeah, I saw that. That is awesome, dude.
That is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, Runner.
No, so this is what happened. So Justin Proper made a tweet, right?
Yeah.
He talked about Jamie Kennedy not being at posters, whatever. And I literally said, and him not, he should have been in the second poster. I'm like, yeah, but what's worse is that they killed him off. I didn't tag him or anything. And out of nowhere, he just comments low-key facts.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He actually has a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he does.
I've watched.
I've tried reaching out to him. I haven't heard from him yet, but yeah.
That'd be cool if you got him.
That's a dude I'd like to meet one day in a convention. And
he seems pretty real. I mean, as long as you're not a dick to him or anything.
Yeah. No, but that low key made my day because, Randy's my favorite character in that entire.
Yeah.
I mean, franchise. Most of us, that was our character. That was who we connected with.
I know. That was literally me. And literally I was just like, I didn't tag you or anything. How the fuck did you see the comment? It's weird.
He's on the internet all the time, so maybe.
Yeah.
Just happened to see it.
I know, that was crazy.
It's cool.
Or Scream might have been trending, and he clicked on Scream or something, and that came up in the trending deal or something. Who knows? I hear him coming.
I see him coming. Now you got me thinking about that. The scene in Scary Movie where he goes to the bathroom stall from the Scream 2 mimic. You remember that scene?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, man. I don't know why that just popped in my head. I don't know. I was thinking about that. It's why did they do that? But anyways, yes. Scream stream is next week. We'll be talking all things Scream. Hopefully, we will all have Scream 4 on 4K, Scream 2 on 4K. And
that means I got to watch the other ones too, damn it.
Yeah, but I mean, technically, as many
I-
times as we've seen them, we could probably talk about. But yeah, I plan on watching them too.
I think
So-
It's been a
I've
while
seen-
since I've seen 4.
It's been a long time since I've seen 4. 4 is the one
Yeah,
I've
I
seen the least.
barely watched the last one. I was like, ugh.
I'm not rewatching 5. I'm sorry. I'm just not.
I will bite the bullet again for 5, just this once. I'm gonna do a marathon. I'll even watch 4 too. I have the first 3 on Blu-ray.
I was just seeing the first one not too long ago, so I don't really need to rewatch that. I'll probably just watch 3 and 4, and then when I get to watch 2, it's
I'll
not, you know.
I'll rewatch it just because I love it. I can honestly rewatch it anytime.
We'll talk that, and yeah. So I'm looking forward to October because I've got a lot of big things planned. And as of right now, I would like to say thank you for everybody watching. Thank you for everyone hanging in the chat. Sub to
Sure, we
these two
shouldn't
awesome
push it
gentlemen.
back a week just so we have enough time.
We may,
case.
just in
You don't
case.
get yours next week.
Yeah, just in case. We'll see how it turns out here. But yes, it is coming. The Scream stream is coming. But thank you once again for everybody hanging out with us. And you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
How you doing? Bitches leave.
Dumbass.